bracket finals. You're contesting for that grand final slot. If you can go local, go local.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about bans here, like going ahead just a little bit, if we saw the previous matchup, YG going up against Mythic Seal, YG has a very interesting drafting pattern where they will invest 2 bans onto Ken. Banning out either the Hayabusa, there are games where they just ban out the Harif, but we can see that YG really doesn't want that Chip. And Chip is a very strong hero, don't get me wrong, but I would say in terms of performance in this playoffs, a bit 50-50. Like, even the games that the Chip does win doesn't look all that impressive.
Yeah, I think it's the curse of Chip now. Despite still being one of the strongest picks in the meta, because how much you can completely change the game with one sequence, and then let's say you ultimate into one fight, you win that, you quickly use Y-Walk to go to another part of the map. Either you push a minion wave that's already been pushing if you've been playing your minion waves really well, but then at the same time, you know what to expect when you're going up against a Chip. As long as you have your eyes set on the beacon of where the Chip could potentially show up, if you know that the Chip is there and it's like, all right, team fight time, he's gonna drop his portal, let's conserve our dash to get out of the immobilize and then go back in, catch them off guard thinking that we're not ready. It's a double-edged sword at this point with Chip.
Yeah. Mythic Seal looking in high spirits, or at least they don't look all that down. Ken does look very focused here, and I really feel like he wants to make it happen, because we got to talk about this story, man. Mythic Seal has tried multiple times, but they never really go international. Like the highest that I remember them is in SPS, and even that one, they don't make it all the way. They don't go to the offline venue. So I feel like there's only one slot for Myanmar to go to MSC. Yeah. And Mythic Seal, this is a very good opportunity for them to finally show up, to represent their badge, their organization, and show it to the world.
Yeah, which is why for Mythic Seal, losing to AI Esports would be a very disappointing result for their fans, for themselves as well. I mean, they're one of the 2 favorite teams to make it to the grand finals. Yangon Galacticos already waiting. AI Esports, middle of the table, but has a pretty strong competitive history as well in the region of Myanmar. But all roads, all signs point to Mythic Seal is going to be the one going to the grand finals. 100% AI Esports are the underdogs going into this. So what they bring to the table, if they can start off the series with a win, they started off 1-0 against Mythic Seal, that's already a big warning shot.
Oh, and now we're instantly going into the draft here. Mythic Seal looking like they're looking to ban out those junglers, but the tankier ones. Not the one with damage, banning out the Boxia as well as the Fredrin, and AI banning out a Chip as well as the Lu Yi. Completely understand they don't want to play this macro game against Mythic Seal.
Yeah, we have just gone back to where we were a year ago or so, or just maybe even a few months ago. Look at that, Fredrin, Boxia being banned out again, being the go-to bans. It's like the world is healing.
Healing is a strong word. Yeah, like now I'm just imagining Fredrin, Matilda healing the world everywhere. And don't bring up the Estes. 1-1 getting banned out, where I really feel like Alita has almost 100% ban on that 1-1. He has not been getting this hero at all.
Yeah, respect banned also by Paladins. Hopefully we get to see it show up here.
I like that.
And yeah, good thing that they respect the Badang as well. Kalia open. Fanny open though.
Oh. Well, can't go for it. No, he goes for the Kalia. And I kind of feel like Fanny won't have that great of a time against Kalia, so maybe you do want to avoid that. Especially if you look at Mythic Seal, Remar. They banned out the Boxy as well as the Fredrin. Is this their way of saying that you guys aren't that great on those assassins? We're more afraid of your utility.
Yeah, 100%. Any team that decides to ban out Baksha Fredrin, blue side first phase is already telling the other, go ahead, pick up the assassins. That's a bit more manageable. They go for the Phoveus Harith. They go for the pair. Harith won't have the counter against him. But now Mythic Seals, they'll be open to pick up a
Granger,
Hayabusa, Granger if they want to. Joy also going to be really good. But then considering that the mid lane options for AI are either gonna be the strong backliners or anyone who's just easily picked by a Hayabusa, could be
Ooh.
good. But now they wait for it, they go for the Granger, but they pick up the Juicin as their prio.
Yeah, maybe also just another way of saying that they know that AI, they just want 2 or 3 front lines, so the Jushin is able to peel up. And maybe this is just Ken saying like, relax, there's a lot of junglers left. The Hayabusa does get picked up. So now Mythic Seal, honestly, there's so many counters towards the Joy, but Ken sometimes, he really doesn't care. He just play with it. It's like, I'll deal with it. It won't be that big of a deal. But now AI banning out that glue, just looking pretty strong, especially considering that Mythic Seal, they really need a strong front line to open up the map.
Yeah, I'm liking the picks on both sides right now. Although, maybe it's just I'm really more conservative when it comes to my analysis and playstyle. That I hope AI is thinking about more range. So if Mythic Seals decides to ban out the Farsa, that would be great. Kami does have really great range also in the center of the map if you decide to play it more like a utility instead of a carry. So I think a Farsa ban would be good for Mythic Seals right now, considering that they're playing around their Granger.
Yeah, Farsa would be good, and then forcing them to use something like Eve, which we haven't seen at all in the past 2 days. Other than those pickups, haven't seen a Selena as well. I think only 2 teams have used the Selena so far, and I think AI is one of them. We'll see if they go for that route. Now AI, are they gonna ban out, say, a Hilda? Because I feel like a Hilda will be able to deal with AI as well. So yeah, Hilda gets banned.
Yeah. Oh, great bans here by AI. They're really putting a lot of respect onto the EXP lane. Taking out some of the best picks available for Kun. Oh, now I'm really thinking, what is Myth gonna end up here with? I mean, there's still like the typical high losses, the Gatot Kachos of the world if they want to. If there's still gonna be a lot of shield on AI, you could even make a case for an Esmeralda in the EXP later on.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're just thinking about winning the lane against Phoveus, I prefer the high loss. You can go for the CC for more damage, but I feel like you just need someone a bit tankier. So yeah, I honestly, between Gatot and high loss, I'm completely okay with, especially considering the fact that you can have that revitalize, helping out your backline. And like you said, the Farsa does get banned out.
Yeah. And if AI decide to go for the Eve, as you mentioned, or the Selena, I think Mythic Seals will end up with a strong pick in the Gatot Kacha. Hopefully they have their eye set on that, because whatever mid laner you end up with now in AI could potentially be countered by that. If they decide to go Valentina here, then AI are going to be putting themselves in the risk of playing a full dive comp against a lineup that has the Juicin. So they read into it and pick up the Gatot Kacha instead. I really like that 4th pick.
Yeah, making it so that no matter what you pick up in the mid lane is not going to get countered. And at this point, high loss seems to be the premier pick in terms of putting it in the EXP. Or Mythic Seal can just do a switcheroo and put Kalia in the EXP. I wouldn't say it's the best, but they definitely have that option. Yeah. And then pick up like a Cho. Again, I don't like it. I don't like double pick off. I prefer one person just to be that front line. But we've seen teams trying it out.
Yeah, I think another front line would be good for Mythic Seals. I'm not a big fan of the double pick off. And there you go. They end up with the high loss, as you mentioned, against the Phoveus. And yeah, Ken really doesn't care. He's just, you know what? Joy it is. I get my joy. I'm happy.
Yeah, his people are saying, like, even the coach is like, excuse me, Ken, like literally everyone on the opposing side counters your hero. And then Ken is just like, who decided that? Who decided these are counters to Joy? So you know what? Too much aura, you win. Pick up the Joy.
He aura farmed his own coach. Let's see though if it's actually gonna work out, because I'm looking at the picks of AI. It's gonna be scary. If AI ends up with an Eve here, their formation will easily get broken. They have to go for something unique, like a Zask maybe. I don't know. Aurora could help with the control. Yeah, they needed more crowd control. They already have strong burst, but dude, this lineup has like a lot of magic damage.
A lot of magic damage, sure, but hey, Moontown doesn't like magic defense, so we don't have a lot of that. So I feel like it's still going to be okay, especially considering that the High Rift will be building the Starlium Scythe. So honestly, it's not even magic damage. At that point, it's true damage. And the thing here is, it looks like against Mythic Seal, the opponents really like to have a lot of front to back crowd control kind of lineups, because they're just like, Mythic Seal will lose in a team fight. At least that's what I saw from YG as well as AI against Mythic Seal. It's just like, have a good, solid team fight comp, and then you're good.
Yeah. One of the good things here for AI, though, in terms of their team fighting now, is that their Revitalize is in the center of the map. The Revitalize for Mythic Seals is in the EXP lane. So for the early skirmishes, before the turtles, or in between the major objectives, AI esports are actually encouraged to be a little bit more aggressive, considering that they can just play around their Revitalize and trade.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And now we're jumping into the first game of today in MSL Myanmar lower bracket finals here. The match before the grand finals. We got Mythic Seal going up against AI Esports.
Ooh, all right. In the center of the map, it looks like it's Mythic Seals setting the aggro tempo. I mean, that's what you get when you have the Juicing paired up with you. That if the other team decides to be aggressive, you can just counter it and crowd control it as well.
You know, looking at the emblem setup here, it looks like everything is A-okay, but PS goes to mid, trying to get a kill onto Boye. An early flicker, making sure that he doesn't get taken down in the early game.
Seems like the emblems are all pretty standard, but Oh My Jenny did decide to go for the Rupture. Considering that, yeah, up against Agata Kacha and Phoveus, a little bit more magic penetration on the Aurora would be great.
For sure, for sure. Looking at the rotation as well, if PS actually got that kill, that would be good because you do want to get ahead against Ken. And Ken, I wonder, does he actually force it out and try to get a kill early or just farm it out? As I say that, he's thinking about it. He's like, I got to get ahead somehow.
Yeah, he's looking at the Gato Kacha, it's like, I can get dash blocked at any moment. It's not really my timing right now. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Continue my rotation instead. And meanwhile, topside, Hayabusa and the Focus together sees the high loss. But that's a Centaur, man. He doesn't care. He has Revitalize. He'll stand through that. And no major resources used on the side of AI, though it's good that they did force out the Revitalize from the high loss.
Yeah, but that's why the high loss is just so good going up against the Phoveus. You're tanky, sure, but the main thing is that the longer he stays in your ring of punishment, well, the punishment gets harder and harder. You're just going to take more and more damage. Manzi hitting level 4, but it looks like they're prioritizing Boye to get that ult. Nico's coming by as well. So the first turtle already looking like teams are setting up to get a big win here.
Yeah, nice little rotation trade. Roamer for Mythic Seals gonna hit level 4 through the EXP lane while Kun went to the mid lane to double lane there. AI has 4 members around this turtle. Kun spots a stun. He goes for the glorious pathway. Nico into the back, but PS still able to secure that turtle. He uses the shadow kill, but it gets cancelled out pretty quickly. Here comes the Phoveus jumping on the members of Mythic Seals. First blood for Black. Can AI get more? Plus the turtle. Nope, 1 kill is enough. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Zippy almost forced back by Alita, almost taken down, but AI gets the W there.
Yeah, but now we can see the weakness in the draft coming in from Mythic Seal. The only damage dealer is Ken. And if Ken is not able to dish out the damage, their entire team starts to crumble. They got a lot of control. They got a lot of defense here, even healing as well, coming in from the high loss when he does have that Revitalize, but more importantly, coming in from the passive of the Kalia. But staying alive doesn't matter if you don't get a kill. So I kind of feel like Mythic Seal, they should have seen that fight and be like, you know what, Ken, I don't know. Do you have to wait until you get the Holy Crystal, then you feel more comfortable for the fight?
Yeah, I think that's also really one of the toughest decisions for a Joy jungler is, do I fight now or do I wait later? But if I wait, considering how expensive the Holy Crystal is, that you might just completely lose your window of your farm, of your proper timing to scale up, and then the time you spent waiting ended up with the other team actually already steamrolling through your jungle. So yeah, that's a decision they have to make. But I think what we're also seeing here is AI, with all the crowd control that they have around the Gatot Kacha, the Aurora, even the Phoveus being aggressive, it's messing up the team fight of Mythic Seals. Like, they just look so uncomfortable in that fight.
Yeah, and now we can even see Zippy going to mid, getting the farm, and maybe even considering the idea of, oh, hold on, they want this kill, but the Revitalize has been used. It looks like he's going to survive. PS goes in with the Ogi Shadow kill, able to get a kill onto Boye, but no, Oh My Jenny's the one securing it.
Great counter eventually by Mythic Seal, but at the end of the day, AI Esports still able to walk away with the kill. Black was able to jump away just in time. So AI still gets the dub there, but Mythic Seals will have the advantage for this turtle. AI Esports want to contest. Oh my Jenny, Black and Mad Sea. Can they buy time for the Hayabusa? Looks like they will be able to. Ken already used his electrifying beast. Not a good timing for the Joy. AI Esports encouraged to go forward. Kun already using the Revitalize. Nico sees Black. It's a Mexican standoff here in the river as AI and Myth have expended some really good resources already just for skirmish.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like if the Granger isn't here, I don't know how much damage that they can really have. Ken is just focusing on farming, and I kind of feel like that's the best thing that you can do.
Yeah, already used. Again, the electrifying beats. Madzy thought he could get someone with a dark wave, but no, it's going to be a big reset. I think you're right here. The Granger now needs to leave the gold lane. As we see him, he's going to to join this fight. It's going to be 5v4. The Harith is in the bottom lane. AI, this might not bode well for them, but let's see. With all that crowd control, they might be able to turn it around. With the tankiness of the Gatagacha focus together, Boya goes forward. Nico, Zippy in a good spot. Glorious Pathway already. Blacks gets lifted up by the taunt, and the crowd control coming in as well from the Kalea. Miss Ken is able to secure that turtle. Kun gets taken down, but Nico gets a kill onto Oh My Jenny, and Mythic Seals have turned this game in their favor. They started this 2-0, but now they are at 2-3. Can they get their third kill onto Madzy, who is doing everything he can, but this Phobius will eventually get taken down by 3.
And there we have it, folks. We see Madzy going up against Zippy, trying to get the kill, but Zippy is able to get away. Where's the parent shots? But either way, we gotta talk about the itemization, or at least the item timing here, because we saw the moment that Ken got that Starlight Scythe, that's where he's like, okay, you know what? This is time. This is where I start to deal the damage. And there you go. He did it. And Zippy, he made the decision. If I let go of my lane, there's a chance that Alita might actually get taken down here. Ken is trying to go for that kill. Kun is here as well, but Alita is actually the one trying to get a kill onto Ken. Ken still surviving. Now the Gatakacha comes in. No damage here at all. Alita having no mana should go away, but PS joins the fight, gets the quad shadow onto Nico. Nico taking a lot of damage, having to use the Crimson Beacon to survive. Now Ken goes in, gets the kill onto PS. Kun secures the kill.
That went on a little bit longer just when you thought AI would be able to get a big win with Alita outlaying Ken, Black coming in for the assist. In the long run, Mythic Seals eventually said, wait a minute, let's go to the bottom lane. It looks like something fun is happening there, and they eventually get the kill, the clapback, and they get the trade in the tower. They'll still also be able to defend the tower topside, so in the end, that ended up not going good for AI. They have to rebalance this now.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the fact that Mythic Seal was able to wait long enough for the damage dealers to actually come back, then that's good. PS, it was unfortunate, man. If he was able to get a kill, even onto the Hylos, that would have been good. That would have been something. But I guess he just doesn't have the damage yet. I wonder if Kun has some armor, or is it just coming in from the healing from the Elegant Gem? Oh, they engage in!
Madzy with a flicker dark way forward. He's single-handedly zoning out the main damage dealer of Mythic Seals while here. And the Turtle AI Esports have taken control. Alita with the Salmon Force pushing back Nico. But wait, I think the Turtle, where did it go? AI was the one able to secure it. It went to the hands of PS as Mythic Seals. Madzy yet again, the Mad Lad doing it for AI.
And we saw, man, he targeted one person. I understand. This is probably the right thing to do. Professionally, EXP laner, go for that jungler, go for that gold laner, because he's the only damage dealer. If there's no Zippy Cutie, then it's fine. Yes, Ken is a monster, 3-0-2 with the Joy, but I kind of feel like the Joy, there's more room for mistakes rather than a Granger. So, Madzy, die if you have to, but you gotta make sure that Zippy Cutie is nowhere in the fight.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier in the draft, that this is going to be a very difficult game for the Joy. He hasn't died yet, but those 3 kills and 2 assists that he's gotten hasn't really converted to big objective wins. They've only secured 1, but across the map, AI are converting objectives better through the kills that they're getting. They've gotten 2 turtles, they've gotten 3 towers, so now it's not even to tell Ken to find your right timing, because that timing, that window is so small for a Joy in this scenario. And now considering that AI has a BOD on the Hayabusa, a Holy Crystal on this Harith, at this point you need a little bit of a miracle. So Mythic Seals, they're forcing the issue with objective takes across the map, willing to sacrifice some.
I would say the Hayabusa actually has a good chance to hold on. Alita gets a free turret here, so Mythic Seal got caught lacking here. AI is actually able to get majority of the objectives here for free, but what's what I was about to say is that PS can actually pop off, not just because he has the BOD, but I saw Mythic Seal's item. They don't have armor. Kun, the only armor that he has is the warrior boots. It looks like he's actually rushing for that Clock of Destiny instead. Yeah, compared to any kind of defense, right? So PS has a shot. Like if he times it right, he could get a lot of executes in the next team fight.
Let's see if the Hayabusa will be able to get it. Oh, but Nico walked into the wrong shrub, but still he's able to get away using the Crimson Beacon. AI have forced out a big resource, but they're forced out here as well. Conceal, here comes Ken, here comes Boya. Can he go in? Flicker and the jump forward by the Kalea. AI are fighting into this. Mythic Seals might be able to turn it around, but the raw damage, the crowd control coming in from AI, too much to handle. Boya is still holding on, but he gets taken out, and PS gets the Lord. Zippy gets the kill onto Alita, but the major objective goes to AI.
Yeah, but dude, that was a big frigid glacier coming in from Oh My Jenny, man. Like, if it weren't for that Aurora ult, I kind of feel like Mythic Seal could have taken everything in that fight. AI able to get that Lord, but again, with everyone's HP being not so great, they got to concede this one. Let the Lord get taken down, but hey, count your blessings, man. At least it didn't go over the Mythic Seal. And now looking at how everything is going, Ken actually has to be careful because he does have 3 kills. At this point in the game, 12 minutes, 3 minutes, if you give shutdown goal over to AI, it's a big power spike because at that point, highly likely that they will finish one item, and that item could be the game changer in the middle of a team fight.
Yeah, have to really find the good timing here if you're Mythic Seals. For AI, they can keep this up. Honestly, everything that we've said in the draft with the crowd control that AI has, how difficult it is for a Joy, even Zippy, as we've mentioned in the pre-show, that he's really waiting for his right time. I have no problems with how Zippy's playing right now. He was able to get that kill onto Alita. He's 2-1-4, is healthy, but it seems like utility-wise, AI has so much more in their arsenal that no matter how good Mythic Seals are team fighting, there's always like one skill that just changes the game in favor of AI.
Yeah, I know, I agree with you, man. Like they find these opportunities. They make losing battles look winnable. And now it looks like the high loss is actually he actually went for Blood Wings. I thought he was rushing for the Clock of Destiny, but okay, interesting. I mean, it could be a visual bug, but Blood Wings, very cool on high loss. I've never tried that before.
Yeah, same. It's magical. Centaurs are already magical by nature, and that is his kit. But yeah, he gets more defense. At the same time, his Ring of Punishment does deal more damage. He gets to deal better damage as well. So it's an interesting build
as well.
Yeah, the movement speed increase. Very interesting build.
Hey, if it works out, I'll give it a shot, man. If it feels good. Hey, you learn something new every day, and that's why you guys got to watch out MSL Myanmar Season 1 here. So they're trying to go for an engage. No one home just yet. The Lord is spawning top, so I do have to see how the junglers manage to wave here because everyone else, I kind of feel like it's not all that safe for you to actually play that long lane.
Alita.
Oh, very brave, very brave.
Yeah, both of us just reacted the same way. I feel like we both just clenched once we saw him. Once we saw him dash out of that shop, I was like, "What, bro? What are you doing there?"
A bit of flashback of what happened like last week. So
yeah.
Just a bit worried. I was like, "Oh, is it the same play?" All right.
AI. Better spot here right now. Oh, Boya looks like he's gonna get caught, but he uses the Tsunami Slam. The Gato goes forward. Boya gets taken out. PS with a shadow kill straight to the back, but it's a killing spree for Zippy. Mythic Seals. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Roamer for EXP. Not as bad as it could have been for AI or Mythic. Still very contestable for this objective, but members of Mythic are low while AI, they're just blitzing the Lord.
Oh, but they're not blitzing it fast enough. Now Ken sees it. Kun as well. Nico and Zippy Cutie, AI, they choose to reset it. Probably just waiting for their alt timings as well. Black's taking a bit of damage. Alita does have that Zaman Force. PS probably just waiting for the Ogi Shadow Kill to secure this Lord much cleanly. PS finds Zippy Cutie! Ooh! Winter Crown! Saves him, and now Ken jumps in! And now he Winter Crowns as well. The Zaman Force is enough to shut down Ken. And now in the back line, Zippy Cutie gets killed onto PS. So both gold laners able to take down the junglers.
With both junglers down, this makes the story of this Lord interesting, as both teams will have to go back to the macro and recontrolling the minion wave. Zippy, I had no idea the man had a Winter Crown on him, and neither did PS. What a play. We told Zippy earlier, I doubt he heard us, but he's playing more carefully, and he played so careful that the man had Winter Crown, and it worked out so well for him. Not so good for Ken, but at that point, Mythic Seals are going to take any win that they can get.
Dude, Ken and Zippy Cutie at what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes picking up the Winter Crown? That's very early timing, but also shows how fast they've been farming in this game. But the Winter Crown is out. I feel like if AI is able to slow it down a bit... Oh, hold on. Speaking of freezing, looks like Boye got freezed up there, but still using the ult to bring him back. Gatukaja jumps in, gets onto 2, and Monty gets a kill onto Boy in the backline. Ken looks like he's gonna get targeted by PS, still able to survive, but Alita gets the kill onto Kun, and now AI is on that Lord.
Can he? Will he even try? Zippy Cutie, Nico doing everything they can to force AI back. They still can't go for a full commit on the Lord. PS, every engagement that AI Esports has means that this Hayabusa is taking more damage than he should be. And despite everything that has happened, despite Mythic Seals losing too, they're the ones who look healthy for the Lord, and the burst damage for them works out. But Ken gets taken out. Alita is the difference maker. PS goes in for the kills and the executes that we were talking about earlier. Mythic Seals are left with 2, while AI looks like they can finally go for the Lord that has long escaped them for the past 4 minutes.
Yeah, Alita was good, but Oh My Jenny was cold with it, man. He's able to freeze up Ken, and now looks like an engage goes in. No. But Zippy Cutie, oh my god, it actually gets Oh My Jenny in the back, and now Alita dashes forward, tries to get Kun, or Boye. Zippy Cutie has to kite away. He has the damage, but he cannot die now. He has like, what, I believe 50 stacks on that Sky Piercer, now a BOD as well. Zippy Cutie cannot die. 50 stacks in health, 50 stacks in half is not 50 anymore. It's like 25, which is not enough.
Yeah, 100%. Math checks out. Gotta agree with that. AI Esports, you actually got to see how much they had to give up on that. They gave up a lot of minion wave control. Mythic Seals, though they lost the Lord, had a lot of minions shoved forward. Good thing AI Esports were the ones able to get the Lord here, so their super minions can come in so that they can push out their side of the river. AI, Oh My Jenny, as you mentioned, has been cold-blooded with this Aurora. Play around your star mid laner AI and you will be rewarded, and rewarded they have. Now Mythic Seals has to find a way to hold on and defend this. They do have the range with the Granger, and they have enough crowd control to potentially stop. But as we've seen before all throughout the world, one crazy Hayabusa play might just be more than enough to turn things around. Here comes that Hayabusa play. Can he actually get Nico down? He doesn't, but barely. Oh my Jenny somehow finds the Granger. He flickered forward. He got the freeze. He got the carry. And AI have their eyes set on taking the towers in the base of Mythic Seals, LaFell.
Yeah, now Ken looks like he's gonna get taken down by Monty. Monty flickers out. Now the minions aren't enough for them to end the game, but they're sure as hell gonna try it out. Zaman Force gets the kill. Minion coming in from mid. It looks like they're gonna end this one. Game number 1 is gonna go over to AI Esports.
What an explosive game between these two. They've definitely set the tone for this lower bracket finals. You want to make it to the grand finals? You better be damn ready. AI gets game 1, and this is what we were talking about earlier, LaFell. Mythic Seals, they're favored to go to the grand finals, but AI gets first blood in this BO5.
Oh yeah, and this must tick Mythic Seal off just a little bit, man, because that's got to sting. Going 5 games yesterday, and if they want to win, it's not going to be a 3-0. Like, minimum, they have to play 4 games, maximum 5 games for today. And I got to say, oh my Jenny did a lot. But let's talk about damage profile here. Because the only people that AI really had to worry about was Zippy and Ken. And Ken on that Joy naturally can't play just because of the draft that AI got. And then Zippy Cutie, you see that you just have to send one person, either the Phoveus or the Hayabusa. And then that damage is out. So I feel like Mythic Seal, the best change that they can do in the next fight, maybe draft a little bit more damage, especially in that mid. Jushin is strong as heck, but maybe that's not what they need with the players that they have.
Yeah, we talked about burst, proper damage profiles at the end of the draft here, and Mythic Seals, they have a good spread on their damage profile, but AI Esports decided to be focused with theirs. All right, we have a crazy amount of burst magic damage on the Harith that weirdly enough was also supplemented by a Gatakacha and Aurora's presence because of the sudden burst that the Gatakacha can deal with his enhanced basic attack, the sudden burst with strong crowd control that an Aurora can dish out. Then you're thinking about all that magic damage. Suddenly this assassin comes out of nowhere, forcing Zippy to be like, wait a minute, I gotta back off out of here. This isn't good for me. I'm already down to half. Suddenly you lose the majority of your damage already with the Granger gone. So with AI deciding to be more focused with their approach, it rewarded them.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Remar, as a roamer, as a tank player, whenever someone says like, "Oh, this is gonna be easy for you," the opponents are all magic damage. And when I hear that, I just want to spit on their face because I'm like, yo, magic resist items isn't that great. I can have 6 magic resist items and I still can get 2 tapped.
Yeah.
Feels a bit unfair, but that's how the world is, Redmar. It's not built to be fair. It's built for you to feel like, all right, good enough.
Yeah.
At least I don't get 1 tap. 2 tap, fine, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's like you're not getting one-shotted, so you just go ahead and take that too. And yeah, it's tough here for Kalea. Every time he wanted to, or he committed the Tsunami Slam, it's like once he gets to bring his target back to the rest of his team, suddenly Boy is like, where's half my health, man? It's like, I just showed up in front of them, of the magic damage dealers for like, what, 2 seconds? Suddenly I'm almost dead. What am I going to do with my life? Alita's the MVP.
Yeah, and Alita's the MVP, dealing a lot of damage. Because you even have, like, you sold your boots to get that Wishing Lantern. At that point, it doesn't matter. Like, this is why I say Redmar. What does Magic Resist do? Like, Wishing Lantern, percent HP based damage. Divine Glaive destroys your Magic Resist. And then the Starlium Scythe just deals true damage.
Mm-hmm.
What Magic Resist do you have, bro? It's not going to be good enough. Maybe that's why Kun is just like, you know what? Maybe that's why I need the Blood Wings. Maybe the Blood Wings shield is better than just Magic Resist.
Yeah. It's like, at this point, building Magic defense and Magic Resist against magic damage and MLBB feels like, yeah, you're wearing bulletproof armor, you're wearing Kevlar, but you're still gonna feel the impact of that bullet, that it's gonna, knock you down. That's what it feels like, and that's exactly what it felt like for the front line of Mythic Seals. That with the unique approach, actually, as we look at the items of Kun, he might have traded some items around because I don't see those Blood Wings anymore. Maybe he swapped some things left and right. Yeah, it could have been also a visual bug, but yeah, at some point you're just gonna hit a point of no return against that Harith. That it's a glass cannon, but it's still a cannon.
Yeah, we have not seen Harith the entirety of yesterday. Either gets banned out or teams just legit don't want to pick it. Mm-hmm. And now Lita is showing like, hey, look at this hero, man. Oh, one of the best heroes in the game. I got 9 lives. I only died once. Try to kill me 8 more times. And looking pretty good. I got to say, in terms of the draft, AI really did a good job here. At Mythic Seal, I kind of feel like they're forcing it a little bit because they don't change the draft so much in comparison to yesterday. But now maybe you just got to look at the matchup, man. It's like, yeah, Ken, you're amazing on that Joy, but the heroes you're going up against, these aren't ranked players. These are professional players. They know how to deal with the Joy with the heroes that they got.
Yeah. And like we mentioned earlier, if Ken ended up having a really good game here, all the flowers to him, praise him. If any store nearby is watching the tournament, you instantly give the man a discount on anything that you have. That's how hard this game was for a Joy. Equally, though, actually, if you look at the pieces on the board for Mythic Seals, this could have been a difficult game for Alita. But considering just how well AI played as such a solid unit, again, you look at that through the kill participation of Oh My Jenny. 90% of team fights, he's there, he's involved. And when they're playing as that solid unit, Mythic Seals looks like they just get outclassed. As we mentioned earlier, anything Mythic Seals brings to the table, it seems like AI always has one or two abilities ready to instantly turn the game around.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like Mythic Seal was probably shocked with that Aurora pick because, yeah, you just don't see her around in the meta. But the moment she does pop off, you're just like, you just forget the amount of CC and damage that she has. Either ways, congratulations to AI Esports for getting first blood here. So now momentum is definitely on their side. A conversation that me and Mirko had yesterday was throughout the regular season, and it's transferring to the playoffs as well. Majority of the wins is actually from red side or second pick. I don't know which one is first and second. All right, I'm colorblind, but I know it's the second pick. Yeah. So I wonder if Mythic Seal losing this one, will they opt for that second pick and then try to win the draft that way?
Yeah. If ever Mythic Seals does decide to go for the red side and then they win game number 2, and not just win, if at the end of the draft, because, okay, spoiler alert, it's going to be me and Mirko casting the second game. We're swapping here and now throughout the day. If at the end of the draft we say Mythic Seals definitely won the draft and then they win the game, then something is definitely up with the red side in Myanmar.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Honestly, this has been a conversation throughout the years. I believe it started back in like 1720, where people are like, which one is better, first pick or second pick, red side, blue side? And it's been, what, centuries now, and we still have no idea which one is better.
Yeah. I think that's just an age-old bet. I am trying to rack my head with history, and my brain just keeps just going, thinking about.
Don't you remember Julius Caesar? He's like, gang, which one do we go for, first pick or second pick? And to be fair, historians have not actually deciphered which pick they went for, but it was good. Yeah. Genghis Khan as well chime in is like, hey, which pick is good?
Yeah, main colors of the Roman Empire, red. Yeah, Genghis Khan, I don't know, but it's probably also red. So red side might be the key here. And as we look at the highlights for Alita and for the rest of AI, yeah, there were moments where they eventually got punished for overextending. But again, once they're playing together as a solid unit, it seems like Mythic Seals just, I don't know, they get outplayed. There's always something that goes so right for AI that makes Mythic Seals look worse. Like this one. You thought Mythic Seals would win this. Boya's entry was great, but then as you pointed out, the Frigid Glacier from Oh My Jenny instantly stopped 2 and forced Mythic Seals to back off a bit.
Yeah, and now actually looking back at the highlights, you just wonder, who made the call? Is it a coach? Or is Madzi just being like, I'm just going to target ZP, man. He's my bro. He's my brother. I know how he moves. If I move forward, he will move slightly to the left, and that's where I will catch him. That's how you know you're that close, you know?
Yeah. Are they twins? Do you know if they're twins? They're not, right?
I don't think they're twins. Twins. But to be fair, I haven't gone to their birthdays for a while, so I can't confirm.
All right, maybe that's a storyline we'll hang over throughout the day if they're actually twins. Or if anyone in the comment section know if they're twins or not, or their age difference, just let us know. But as you see through the highlights, you just see AI. Again, something always just ends up so well for them. The Mythic Seals, at some point, I felt like they were so frustrated already. It's like, yo, we got this. Wait, we don't have it? Wait, Oh My Jenny flickered forward just to take the Granger down? What is up with AI today?
Dude, Tippy tried his best. He really tries to position himself in a way that he's able to dish out damage. Because let's be real, he's actually doing quite good on this Granger. But if everyone and their neighbor comes after you, like what's with all the hate? Love and peace and all that. Let me do damage.
Yeah, it's like everyone in the world just wants to feel wanted, but not like that. Not like how Zippy felt in that game. It's like, this is more than enough, please. Like, you can't blame that Granger. Dude, you're not going to expect an Aurora to flicker under your tower. Yeah, the Lord is there, but no, barely any pro players would make that super risky call. But Oh My Jenny decided to make that risky call.
Maybe that's why he did it. Because it's like, no pro player would do it. So there's no way he's going to react. But now, Renmar, you called it. Mirka's going to come in. So we're going to go for a short break. And after this, game number 2 will be popping off with Renmar and Mirko.
They said there's a limit in the Women's League. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Super League Myanmar Season 1. Day 2 of the playoffs, Match 1, lower bracket finals. Again, elimination match. If you guys didn't watch Game 1, just a quick recap. Mythic Seal lost. AI are now leading the series 1-0. I'm still here with Renmar, and I'm Lafel.
Yeah, Lafel has he's grown. He's evolved to I don't know if it's a higher or lower being. Let's just say equally great being.
Exactly. So how you doing, Renmar? Nothing has changed at all here. It's still me. I still agree with what we spoke about earlier. The drafts are great. The drafts are amazing. I agree that the Joy had a tough time. But, man, I gotta say, Harith is broken. Yeah,
I think it is surprising when Lafel did point out, and then when you pointed out, excuse me, Lafel, that we've barely seen Harith all throughout the Super League so far, especially in the play-ins and then going into the playoffs. Like, no one's banning it out, no one's picking it, and then it shows up, and then it's just busted up against Mythic Seal. So what's going on with Harith? Huh? What are we gonna get for Harith for the rest of the day?
Dude, at this point, I think if you're on blue side, it's so tough to make that decision too because the Kalea was open, right? But if the Kalea was banned out, then okay, we would have 100% seen the Harith as the first pick prio. But that's just the gamble that you gotta take when Harith is up and Kalea. You gotta decide between Kalea and Harith, and usually when you get the Kalea, it means that you have an easy road to snowball into the mid game. Once you get to the mid game and then you have let's say like a 5 to 6k gold lead, the Harith really should be kind of irrelevant by that point, right? Like the Granger should have these 3-4 stacks on the Skypiercer, and especially with the Farsa, you should have been able to shut down the Harith, but that didn't happen because AI were just so good at managing their resources, waiting for their power spikes, and getting to that power spike without being too far behind.
Yeah, and I think also what's tough for Mythic Seals in Game 1 was that with their first pick, Kalea, if you look at the picks of AI Esports, a majority of them are heroes that, outside of the Hayabusa, if the Kalea gets the catch, it's like, what are you going to do? First, the Aurora has the passive. It's like an immortality. So Kalea is going to be like, all right, I will waste my skill on this. I'm not going to do that. You get the Gatot Kacha. Gatot Kacha has a chance to taunt or maybe even just jump away. You get the Phovius, as we've seen onto Madzi. Then he has a chance to Dark Wave and then punish you for wanting to pick him off. It was a tough choice for Boy in the end of like, who am I actually going to get here?
This is why I feel like for Mythic Seal in the jungle, for some reason, I feel like they're kind of one-dimensional. It's really only been Ken on Joy for the most part, right? Like, we saw a Hayabusa game yesterday that didn't really go too well. He's only really performed on the Joy, which is concerning now. If Mythic Seal want to play the Kalea composition that we saw earlier with the Juice in, you kind of, and the Granger, the first 3 picks of the first phase was amazing. You need a pick that can win you the early game in the jungle. And Joy is just not it. You know, Joy is kind of like a mid-game to late-game hero. Yeah. And on top of that, it's countered by the Harith. So when you get your power spike, usually Harith gets his power spike too. And when you battle it out, the Zaman Force ultimately wins out. He has so much sustain plus damage on top of just Joy having burst, technically, right? So there you go. Proper response. Ban out Fredrin, ban out Harith. If you want to play Joy, enable the Joy in the draft. They finally understand that, and they've identified it.
Yeah, great bans here. Looking at the bans of game number 2, for the first phase, it was Fredrin, Baksha, 1-1. As we pointed out with the Harith, it's a good thing that they decided to rush ban it in the first phase already. So now it should look a little bit more different in the draft, that you've instantly put Ken in a much better place. If he really wants to be a Joy spammer for this series, then he's in a good spot right now for this game number 2.
I love the changes already, man, from Mythic Seal, and I hope this is what we get to see more of later on in the series, because it's almost been, well, they've already played a whole match yesterday that went to a best of 5. I was really concerned the fact that, you know, they still haven't adapted. They still are trying to put Ken into the Joy without really enabling him. So at this point, play just a safe composition that'll play from mid to late, get that power spike, wait for Ken to pop off on the Joy. We're going to have to wait a bit, ladies and gentlemen, on the draft. And there you go. We're going to resume the draft. Welcome to the drafts. Game number 2, Fredrin, Harith taken off the board. The 2 teleports of AI already taken out as well. Chip and Lo Yi.
But, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, doesn't that mean that the rest of the draft is so easy for AI that they're just going to be thinking, well, they're going to pick up the Joy? Because Fredrin and the Harith ban, that is Joy coded right now for Mythic Seals. And AIs are like, all right, we're already drafting around making the Joy, or giving the Joy a difficult time. Yeah, you've taken out some of the best answers for it. You can still draft so that the Joy will have a hard time.
I agree, and that's why it's still going to be tough for Mythic Seal. Despite, again, banning out the Fredrin and the Harith, there are still going to be many ways to deal with the Joy. The Badang, the Phoveus even. But at this point, whoa, AI are the ones to ban out the Badang. They don't want Mythic Seal to pick up Badang first pick, I believe. If Mythic Seal don't pick up the Joy here, and this is the risk that AI take, technically, when they leave everything open, they can leave the Joy open, but somehow a 1-1 shows up. First pick. Okay, we haven't seen a whole lot of this, by the way. Even AI versus Paladins, it was always prioritized in the first phase. We got to see the first pick 1-1, I believe, from YG and also from Mythic Seal, and both those 1-1 games were a loss. I don't know why 1-1 so prioritized in Myanmar right now.
It seems to be the hero, something with the execution, but so far we've seen that the execution bodes well for it. Instantly, the Phoveus into the 1-1. Not that it'll give the 1-1 difficulty, but more of like the Phoveus will be so happy. Oh, look at all those little micro dashes, giving me a little bit more on my passive. And then the Hayabusa as well for the instant pick. What's tough here is that Mythic Seals, if they want to pick up the Farsa, it's quite discouraging to do that, seeing the Hayabusa on the other side. So if you want to do that, you're like, yeah, Nico, you're probably going to have a hard time here, but we need you on this Farsa so that AI doesn't get it.
The safe choice would probably still be the Juice in, having the Crimson Beacon, the Brave Smite, you know, just ways to survive. But the Kalea was actually left open, and they will pick it up with the Hilda, putting Mythic Seals Ken again in a tough position, despite setting up for what looked to be a Joy pick. They have gone for the opposite. I think when you have 1-1, you're not really too concerned about the Fredrin, right? And if you want to save your pick, your jungle into the second phase, then usually that means that you have more than just one pick to show for it. So we'll see about that. We'll see how Mythic Seal wrap up the draft right now, because to be fair, I like it. I also dislike it. It depends on which picks. I love the Kalea and Hilda. The 1-1 not so much. And AI go for the Gatot Gacha too. There you go. Another pick that can deal with the 1-1.
Yeah, and we saw earlier the timing of AI with the Gatot Kacha and Phoveus. They timed their ultimates so well. Madzi goes forward. Once he sees he gets a good dark wave, that's actually a surprise setup for the Gatot Kacha, or vice versa. So it's going to be even more difficulty here for Mythic Seals based off of what we saw in game number 1. And I feel like this Hilda pickup, I'm on the same boat of like, I'm all right with it, but also not. But at the same time, it feels like this is their sort of like soft way of telling Ken, at least we have someone who can supplement you relatively well from the EXP lane. You have a Hilda that can go around the map relatively quickly, that can help apply pressure or help alleviate the pressure if there's invades coming in from AI. So maybe that's why they picked up the Hilda.
Maybe, yeah. That it should be good against the Hayabusa, and it technically stops possible Granger from coming out. Mythic Seal with the 1-1, I think they gotta ban the Irithel here, and yeah, they do. Second ban though, are they going to just lean into the gold lane and, you know, force out the Granger pick, knowing that they have a Hilda already? Maybe ban out the Moskov, another hero with a blink that could give 1-1 a bit of a trouble, some trouble in the gold lane. Good juice in takeaway there, something that we were already talking about. A safer choice for Mythic Seal if they wanted to have someone to just deal with this composition that's right now very front line heavy, man. Gatot, Phoveus, Mythic Seal. I wonder if they still want to take the risk of going, like, it's a bit risky, but Kimi, do they want to go for that? It's great against the Gatot, pretty solid against the Phoveus too. They ban it. Despite banning the box too. Man, I feel like some of these picks and bans are just not in sync with each other for Mythic Seal.
Yeah, I think also that Mythic Seals drafted themselves into a corner that no matter what AI picks up now, considering how solid, like a Gatot Kacha, Phoveus, Hayabusa is always a solid foundation for your draft, that if you go long-range artillery mage here, then you pair it up with something like a Moskov or a Granger, you're already set. Long range up against that 1-1, you're already pretty darn good. So for AI, they pick up the Granger. Wouldn't be surprised if it's just going to be a Farsa later on for Oh My Jenny, or they could even go for even more surprise and suddenly, I don't know, pick up a Theramis as their 5th pick if they want to go for all dive while Granger's just safely in the back line. That, dude, it's looking like AI is going to win this draft no matter what Mythic Seals ends up with.
I agree with you. They go with the Selena, so that was the choice for them. All from the... I get the Kimi ban now that they pick up the Selena. Kimi does do really well, especially in the early phase against the Selena. But they go up. They still end up going for the Joy. AI, mid lane pick. They just need some solid prio in the mid lane, and I already feel like Selena's going to have a tough time there. Knowing that, again, AI can technically take those shots in the early game, and I feel win the early game still. It really depends on the execution here, but AI going for the Farsa is a bit riskier now against the Joy and the Selena, but I honestly would just take it. They already have enough offensive power to make use of a safe or very vulnerable backline here with the Granger. So go for it, Oma Jenny. I like it. I like what they can do with this draft as well. They're going to have so much artillery, and man, if AI with the Farsa pick get ahead in the early game, this is going to be a tough watch for Mythic Seal.
Yeah, it's what's tougher even more for Mythic Seals is that it's so dependent on the Kalea and Selena now to somehow pull off a miracle in the early that dominates AI. Yeah, Abyssal Arrow is so strong that it can, if you start landing them over and over again, that will mess up the opposing team's rotation. But then once you get to Turtle 1, Turtle 2, you have so many problems just with the Phoveus alone. Because your kit is based on some crazy amount of dashes, that the Phoveus Madzi can just continue what he did in game number 1 and just be like, all right, not everyone's here yet. It's fine. I can handle this front line on my own.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think? Do you guys think AI, do you guys agree with us casters, me and Renmar here, that AI just got the better draft? And if they snowball, it's going to be scary. Or do you think Mythic Seal is going to pull it off with that mid-game extraordinaire? With the Selena, the Joy, comfort picks all around technically for Mythic Seal. I'm not too sure about the Selena. I saw some win rates yesterday, and yes, to be fair, in the regular season, Mythic Seal were the guys who picked the Selena the most. So technically, it could be a favorite for Nico as well. We'll just have to see how they are able to use it here in the Land of Dawn as we get right into it. Game number 2 in the lower bracket finals. Remember, guys, it's an elimination match, and AI are leading.
All eyes really are gonna be on this Selena. If Nico can pop off, play like how Super Friends, Few, even how Sanji showed off in the grand finals of MPL PH, then AI is gonna be in trouble. That's what you get when you're up against a really good Selena player. You give a lot of difficulty for the rotations, but PS Black already getting pressured early on. And okay, despite the draft struggles that we pointed out for Mythic Seals, this is how they have to play. If they want to make sure that AI doesn't just run away with this, they have to take what aggression they can in the early game.
Definitely. Lethal contest 2 here. Black walking up already. It does seem like AI will be the ones to take this. Mythic Seal kind of burnt out a few of those resources earlier. An arrow doesn't land. It'll just be a free lethal to PS. Getting level 4 with the next camp probably. Looking at the emblems though, pull yourself together on both Zippy Cutie and Boye. Means that, yeah, they're really going to be looking to utilize those battle spells as much as possible. So that means they're looking to fight as much as possible. Look for picks at least. It's going to be a high-paced game from Mythic Seal, trying to combo in the Abyssal Arrows with the Tsunami Slams. And looking at it again, honestly, it really depends on how they set up for the first turtle. Yesterday, Mythic Seal were always kind of late to set up for first turtle. They don't have that mid lane rotation for the XP lane. They stay in their individual lanes to get level 4. Therefore, you know, the roamer, Boye, actually suffers for not having level 4 in the first fight. But this time, it seems like AI going to be playing it safer.
Oh, PS really wants to get this turtle, but he gets Abyssal Arrow! Nico in the clutch, stopping the Hayabusa right away, and AI Esports will not be able to healthily contest this turtle. Mythic Seals! Nico landing the arrow just in time.
Okay, you know, I said they were going to play it safer. I thought it was going to quad shadow back. Turns out, no. Decides to walk up. He didn't even blink on the quad shadow. He just walks in. Nico reads him like a book, and now everything is going to be taken from him. Not quite everything, but a lot of things. Even, oh man, the green cam taken away from PS. I think this is going to be a solid 2-level gap by the time Turtle 2 spawns in the game.
Yeah, let's see if AI can get any resources. Maybe in the lower part of the map. Nothing has spawned there just yet. But as we see, it's Kuhn actually getting info on the purple side of the jungle for AI. So, Mythic Seals, I mean, we talked a big game about the Selena. If the Selena pops off, oh, here comes Boya popping off. Already forced to Purify out of Valita's hands. So that's something that Mythic Seals can play around later. That there's no more Purify for this Granger for the next 80 seconds or so.
Yeah, they can still play safe, to be fair, for AI as well. This, by the way, I love it. I love the fact that we're not stuck in the I have to go flicker era anymore. For some reason, in the Philippines and ID, I keep on seeing players just still kind of force out flickers, which I understand, to be fair, up against the Assassins, up against the Hildas too. But I think you gotta take control of the threat that's right in front of you first. And for the most part, it is the CC coming in from the Kalea. So double respect for Jenny and Alita. Both of them want to go for Purify. It will help them a lot, especially considering they have a solid front line. They have to trust in their teammates. You don't always have to make that individual play with Flicker. You can always just chill, wait in the back, let Madzy shoulder bash a lot of these threats in the front. But man, Ken farming like a monster again. Find beats on Black.
Whoa, so aggressive, and it helps set up the follow-up for Boye and Nico as well. But Black, he's able to get away. His ultimate got soft cancelled, but Black was still able to dash out, unbreakable the taunt, saving his behind just in time. Mythic Seals now, though, have expended resources, but it looks like this turtle is going to be good for them unless PS. Will he commit the shadow in? Will he even try? He tried, and he got punished as Ken gets the turtle. PS now wishing that he could have picked up a Purify for himself.
Oh man, it turns from bad to worse for some reason. AI, it almost looked like they got a chance. Another very, very good chance to recover in the game, to play it slow, but they decide to play with Mythic Seal's tempo in these fast-paced game. Ken able to steal away the purple buff, and now even Madzy walks up, does get a few in front of pursuit procs, but this ain't really going to threaten him. He's actually going to put himself in a tough position. Kun already holding the wave up top, so no trades could be taken by AI, and man, I wonder why they're playing so fast. This isn't like the AI we saw yesterday who were playing it so calm, so composed. Good feather airstrike there, but Boye just cancels it out straight up. Tsunami Slam too.
Okay, are they going to continue this fight as Ken already used electrifying beats? I think it was just a warning shot to keep them at bay, but they could get sandwiched here if they're not careful. Black and PS here by Madzy as well. In range, PS commits the ultimate. Can he actually get anyone here? No. AI also not completely in range to supplement the aggression of the Hayabusa. And all of that leads to Zippy getting just a bit of a push to the bottom lane. Needs to pull out though as Madzy's here. He does have the proc up. Will he be able to commit the ultimate? Yes, he does. Boye here for the assist. Phobius trying his best. Oh my Jenny for the assist. They reach the 1-1 in time. Madzy gets the 1-1 down alongside the Farsa. But oh my Jenny stuck. He doesn't have Wings by Wings as Ken with the electrifying beats, making AI dance to his tune.
Uh-oh, look at the flank coming in. The sandwich maneuver, an abyssal arrow lands on Black. It's gonna be the full flank as Kun goes in, trying to go for more. Good taunt. Chain CC, Madzy staying alive, not for long though. Taken out as Alita picks up a Sky Piercer stack and a turret falls up top. Ken jumping back and forth. The missile arrow landing again. The Purify won't get you out of damage. Alita taking out Black. Barely able to pop that AOG in time.
Nico. My cousin Nico. He's not really my cousin, but if you know the reference, you know it. AI! Bro, they are getting shut down by Nico's Abyssal Arrows. It's not the main thing, but it's coming in at the clutch. The moments where you feel like, oh, AI has something here. If it's not PS doing something that, you know, doesn't really turn out well for AI, it's the Abyssal Arrow of Nico that just turns things around, man.
Been so tough for AI. Oh, hold up, Madzy. Just as I say that, is looking to get a pick off on Ken. Won't be able to do so. Mythic Seal again. Good rotations, good recovery here. Rotating straight up top, knowing that AI will be trying to look for the bottom lane Pariah with the orange buff. Also gets taken away for AI. And now Mythic Seal are, despite, you know, a few toss-ups here and there, a few battles that didn't go fully their way, it's alright, man. They still have a 2,000 gold lead and they're still within their element. Zippy is going to hit that massive mid-game power spike. Ken, same goes. And AI, they really are falling behind. If Alita doesn't get 3-4 stacks by the 10th, 12th minute, it's going to be tough. They're not going to have enough damage to really execute a lot of these frontline tanky members in Boye and Kun. Remember, you fight a long fight against the Kalea, he's just going to heal up constantly and he's already going for more. Nope. Okay. Just a slight.
Yeah, they weren't they weren't completely in the right area just yet, but with Black taking a fair amount of damage, our Mythic Seal's trying to find that opening. Oh, Abyssal Arrow's gonna land again. Boya not gonna jump forward. They already forced out. They're revitalized from that Gatotkacha. Madzy going forward, and here comes the cavalry of AI. Boya and Civic Uti get bursted and blasted out of the map as Madzy and Black have set the tempo. Madzy gets punished, but that is a consolation to the domination that AI has found. Ken goes in. This could be risky, but Nico lands the arrow yet again. The difference maker, but Black, point blank with a jump, means that a double kill is set up for Ken.
Wow, I mean, everything played almost to the win conditions that we put on the table for AI. At least 3 to 4 stacks by 11 to 12 minutes. Alita was on par already. Oh man, PS jumps in with the shadow kill. Doesn't get it. Good flick around, and it's going to be a free lord to Mythic Seal.
AI, they've tried. We thought they found that moment, but Mythic Steel's still holding on. They're push and pull in the team fight, working out well for them. And Nico, he has to be highlighted at this point. And I feel like that has set the story, with Black eating 2 Abyssal Arrows in a row now, getting his rotation and timing in check. Even though AI were the ones who found that big team fight win early on, it was the Abyssal Arrows mid to late team fight that turned it around. We talked about mid to late game in the big picture, but even for mid to late team fight in the smaller picture, it goes well for Mythic Seals.
It's just so tough for AI right now, but they are going to go on to Kun again, who's going to be picked off. But with the Lord, I think Mythic Seal really don't care about Kun. They've already used Feather Airstrike and the Shadow Kill. Big resources being burnt out as now they slowly but surely utilize the Lord to get the tier 2s around. Luckily though, AI are able to do some pretty good work on the waves, stopping the tier 2 from being taken in the mid lane, and now it's a slow build back for AI. They've got yet another chance to prolong the game, to wait for the late game. But that's where I'm kind of concerned about this composition. But the airstrike again, Nico! Way too aggressive, Manzi! Utilizing that shoulder bash to chase. And, man, Mythic Seal, they can't let this lead go like this. This happened yesterday, by the way. They were leading quite a bit, and they lost it all just because they lost on that discipline.
Yep, slight overheat there by Nico, but the good thing for Mythic Seals is that they've taken relatively good care of their minion waves before that pickoff, so there's no clear opening for AI in the map to actually make the most out of that kill. But with a 3k gold difference, this is the 100% within the range of AI Esports to turn things around. But it seems like the harder lineup to pull off. Oh, here comes Boya with a flicker and the jump in. Oh my, Jenny gets spotted out and blasted right away. The formation broken. Madzi left alone to his own devices. Meanwhile, in the back, AI still trying to hold on. They punish Ken, but Alita gets taken down by Kun. He's serving Kun. Finally, as AI Esports have had their formation broken and they've lost another team fight.
Amazing fight by Mythic Seal, again understanding what to target, who to target in the team fights. Another missile arrow almost landing. The holy defense in the mid lane will be procced in, and oh my, Jenny and Alita, these are the conditions we also spoke about that technically could be a disaster for them. If they don't get the lead in the early game, these frontliners won't be tanky enough come the mid game to handle Mythic Seal's damage. I mean, to handle the angles of attack as well. Nico has been a monster with the Selena. Abyssal arrows coming in from angles you would never expect, and AI really can't expect it. Every single time they see an arrow, it's a bit too late to react by the time they see it. And you can see for the items at least that they have gotten to, I would say, a comfortable spot, but they just can't deal damage against this very chaotic lineup of Mythic Seal at this point.
Yep.
AI are going to have to find a very, very perfect team fight with them holding Ken and Zippy Cutie down. I don't know how that's going to happen with Nico shooting so many arrows, with Boye constantly threatening the tsunami slams as well. It almost seems like AI are just overloaded with so many angles of attack.
Yeah, it's like they can focus in one area, but then suddenly there's two more areas you have to watch out. Look, Ken found Alita all alone, and they've already forced a full-on team fight. Ken has used electrifying beats, but Black gets taken out. AI, because they saw the joy in the back, were forced to do something. They punished Kun, but it looks like the crossbow of Tang is a difference maker. As Zippy Cutie has a double kill, he finds my Jenny, but Zippy walks straight into the high boost, a triple kill for the 1-1, but PS gets him back. Here comes Ken yet again. It's 2v2. It's Ken and Nico, PS and Alita. Both junglers are up, but the Hayabusa has to go back. Mythic Seals, they might be able to get this.
They can. There's a chance here again. Electrifying beats coming. Oh, the Lord! A payback to retro from Alita! How has that happened? Mythic Seal were in control for the majority of the game. One team fight where they decided to keep on fighting, and AI punished them. It was Alita. It was the bullet of Alita, not even a retribution, that got them the Lord.
Saved by the Lord. The moment we saw that knock-up connect onto the two members of Mythic Seals, onto Nico and Ken, we both had just that guttural reaction of, oh no, Mythic Seals, something just went terribly wrong, and it did. The Lord bought time, and Kun now forced back, spotted out. AI with their best chance this entire game to take full control. How many towers can they get? The mid lane push doesn't look that healthy, but the Hayabusa's there. The top lane push, can they get the Lord to push? Will they be able to get that tower down? They cannot. Mythic Seals has held on here, but AI have found the footing. Even ball game now.
Oh man, they're definitely breathing a sigh of relief right now. Oh my goodness, I thought that quad shadow actually landed. That could have been the game ender there had the quad shadow landed on Zippy Cutie. But I gotta say, usually I just give props to AI, but obviously I gotta give props to AI. Amazing plays again, understanding how to punish Mythic Seal, but Mythic Seal has done this too many times for me to say that it's, just the enemy team outplaying them. They had the winning team fight already. Zippy Cutie wanted to continue around that Lord fight. He ended up dying, giving another kill because Kun was so low. Or was it Boye? And then it became a 2v2. That really should not have happened. That should have still been Mythic Seal with a Lord for free. It would have been, should have been a 4 versus 2 situation for Mythic Seal. But again, Oh man, some of these really, really risky decisions from Mythic Seal just does not end up paying off, and it ends up just looking like a pure throw, these gambles. The lead's gone, and that was what they were playing with, Redmar. If AI somehow can get their frontliners to hold on and play properly, like a proper front to back with the formation, it's going to be tough. Kun already. What?
What? Oh, he's going to get caught out here, but here comes the save by Mythic Seals, but oh my, Jenny claps it off with the damage. Here comes Ken. Kenny hold on. Winter Crown just in time to revitalize as well. Matzy with a flicker dark wave, but he gets punished. Ken still got the kill. AI have lost 2. So has Mythic. Even still, another standoff for these 2 teams.
They're just computing like robots once they get their win conditions. They're just so cold with the PS! Joseph with the shadow kill! Almost takes him out, Nico! Forced to flicker out! A big spell right before the Lord spawns!
You can call the region of Myanmar dark horses or whatever you want, but you cannot take away excitement from their name. Game 1 has served some interesting moments. Game number 2 serving even more. Still too close to call. One slip up. Will it be AI malfunctioning or Mythic getting their unfortunate mythical slip? Who can hold on better? We have to watch out for the multiple angles of Mythic Seals, but we have to watch out for the sheer crowd control that AI can dish out that could punish. Mexican standoff, Boye decides to go in. Mythic Seals, can they force something out of here?
A good resource baited out with a Feather Airstrike again. AI's working hard, and this time you can see that they really have downloaded a lot of the Mythic Seal movements. The Abyssal Arrows that has been landing constantly in the early game to the mid game. And they downloaded enough, you know, for them to understand the template, the pattern of where these Abyssal Arrows are coming from. And they have not been hit by an Abyssal Arrow yet. Again this time though, perfect timing. Right as I say it, it lands on PS, a good chunk of damage, but he has the regen still. Another one back-to-back on Madzy. That's gonna be an all-in with Tsunami Slam.
Boye decides to go in, and the forward entry by Mythic Seals, it was stopped by the Phobius almost single-handedly. A double kill for Alina, for the Granger, but Nico with a shutdown on the BS means that 3 members of AI have fallen. Both junglers down. Alita still alive, don't tell me he's gonna get hit, but it was blocked by the Beetle. Alita in no man's land though. Time running out, no space to escape. If he can pull this off, it would be a miracle, but a miracle is not what he'll get. AI have lost 4, and Mythic Seals have their eyes set on this Lord.
There's just too much to handle. We saw a glimpse of what could be an AI victory with Winter Crowns trying to outplay Mythic Seal, but even with the Winter Crowns, Ken's electrifying beat still goes through. Even the frontliners couldn't handle that damage, and it'll be a free Evolve Lord conceded over to Mythic Seal, who should have now the right angle, the right, I think, conditions to end the game. An Evolve Lord with a dive comp like this, AI, they're gonna have to play it perfect. They're gonna have to also wish for Mythic Seal to do one of those, to make one of those gambles again, those risky plays that could end up with AI winning this.
I mean, let's see if they'll get that. They can throw bodies to help set up Zippy so that he can get a good crossbow of Tang off. But this is one of the tough things about playing around Selena as your mid laner in a sieging environment. You're gonna have to put that Selena at risk. You're gonna have to put members at risk to go dive. But again, it looks like for Mythic Seals, throwing bodies works out well for them. That last fight for that Lord happened because they just threw bodies. They weren't approaching from multiple angles. There was one clear angle, but it all worked out. Boye decides to throw his body in, but the damage coming in from the far side might be enough to stop Mythic Seals and their push. But Alina gets found. He gets punished. No more Granger, but the damage from the shadow kill can only pop the immortality. Nico and Mythic pushing forward. AI doing their absolute best, but this looks like an endable angle for Mythic Seals.
PS walking up again, gonna be caught, knocked up in the air, and a missile arrow landing on Black as they are going to go for the end. Another wave in the bottom lane, a Purify used up with the Feather Airstrike 2, full turret lockdown, but a Tsunami Slam will stop any hopes of AI defending this Lord siege into the base. It's an equalizer by Mythic Seal 1-1.
What a crazy back and forth between these two teams. It wasn't the cleanest, but damn was it entertaining. The Selena that we were both skeptical about ticked off his condition in the early game, set the tempo, be the one to tell AI Esports this isn't going to be an easy game for you. And the smallest man on your screen right now had the biggest impact. Nico was just an absolute king on that Selena.
So good on the Selena. The Abyssal Arrows really becoming the game changer for the team that they didn't have in the previous games. They've just been looking at the game very one-dimensionally, very, I would say, kind of tunnel vision. But with the Abyssal Arrow, it opened, it widened their field of view. It really, really gave them the angle of attack to really stop this AI 2-0 start to the series, which is crazy. The fact that AI could have still done that. But man, they really made AI lose track of their win conditions too in the early game. That crazy fast tempo was not how AI thought that they would play. Like, they just got reeled into it constantly.
Yeah. If you're AI, you're thinking that, all right, Mythic Seals are going to try to play like robots. They're going to be calculated, slow, pick their moments. But they didn't. They were just like, nope. You know what? Let's just throw bodies early on. Let's try to test them. Let's force out resources. There were even moments in the early game where I was wondering, they got the gacha already using the Revitalize? Mm-hmm. You don't need to, but okay, it felt like that was the heat check by Mythic Seals, and eventually it worked out for them. We talked about gambits here. Gambles, and Mythic Seals took it at the right moments, although there were some times where they really shouldn't have taken it, but it paid off in the end.
Man, well played again to Mythic Seal. A comfortable draft for them, a comfortable mix of picks that we have seen through the regular season, and again, enabling Ken on the Joy. I guess that's what you need if you want to enable the Joy. First, you ban out the Frederick and the Harith, and then you play it as chaotically as you can, right? Make them kind of miss, make them faint a lot with a lot of the other heroes, so that the Joy can come in with one swoop, take them all out. That electrifying beats the dashes as well. Once Alita had already used the dash, had already used the purify, he was a sitting duck. It was so easy for Ken to just walk up and smack through. Even the frontliners, who again, Madzi was kind of forced to use the shoulder bash. He had to save it for the Joy. He couldn't, though, because, there's just so many dives. There's so many ways that they could force the fight, force the issue upon AI. And even AI couldn't compute that, man. The artificial intelligence got maneuvered, got outsmarted in that game. I think
the coding just wasn't ready for it, man. There were just a few strings of code that just weren't available just yet. And for how Mythic Seals played this, I also liked how, looking back at it now, they always had one angle reserved for Oh My Jenny. They knew how much trouble the Farza could bring to the table. Even if Oh My Jenny pops the Feathered Airstrike early, you'll see one quick pop and then he'll wait for 2 more hits. And then suddenly you're wondering, wait, where's that Farsa? Where's the 2 more extra hits of the Feathered Airstrike? Oh, the Farsa's gone because Nico either found the angle or Ken found the angle. Someone, at least on Mythic Seals, would be able to find the angle so that Zippy Cutie had some more space to work with. And space was... he had a lot of it. 8, 3, and 5. And you pointed out earlier, I like that he went for Pull Yourself Together because he almost always had Inspire.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we know now why the 1-1 is so prio. Despite going up against the Farsa, Hayabusa, and the Phobius, he went and he did it, dude. Zippy Cutie was a monster. There were a couple of moments that I won't talk about Zippy, but you know those moments that should not have happened. In the end, it still worked out. So I'm not really going to be talking about, those little mistakes that he and the team made decision-wise, because mechanically, it was amazing. And I think Mythic Seal really remind me a lot of Bigatron. Not just because they never qualified to international events, but also the fact that they are very mechanical reliant, dude. Their decision making sometimes make their fans, I don't know what they're called, Seals maybe, very, very worried. Like, bro, I was sweating for Mythic Seal after getting that lead. For some reason, it seems like Mythic Seal and Bigatron, man, that make you as a fan sweat when they have the lead. It's like, dude, please don't get the lead early. Just like try to come back later, Give the lead to the enemy team early. You can come back. I trust you. But when you hold the lead, there's a bit too much risk. There's so many bounties on y'all.
Yeah, no, dude, I get you. Like, for the first time in this series, this entire day so far, I'm sweating. Like, actually sweating with what happened in this game. And I think a good amount of that is, because of the decisions that Mythic Seals decided to take. The moments where we were like, bro, why? But also, wait, you still had Nico alive to help turn things around. Nico deserves an award for what he was able to do for Mythic Seals in this one. Because there were moments where I really felt like if Nico was dead, nah, it was over for Mythic Seals. But since that Selena was still up, they were still able to keep fighting.
Agreed, definitely, man. Nico was definitely the unsung hero here. Not the MVP. Zippy Cutie took that one, but yeah, Nico was phenomenal in this game. A good shout out to Ken too. Even though, you know, a couple of times we did see AI finally get the hand of the joy, there's always other ways by Nico. Again, mainly it's Nico. Yeah, you're right. The arrows just keep landing towards the end. There was, I think, a window where we didn't get to see the arrows land, and that was the window where AI were really able to force the issue. Mythic Seal then adapted again, played it slower, slowed down their tempo to wait for the Abyssal Arrows to land, to wait for the Wishing Lanterns to proc in, to get AI in a comfortable spot for Mythic Seal to get just all in. Once the Phoveus is at half HP, once PS has already used the regen and is half HP after utilizing the regen, I think that's pretty good conditions for Mythic Seal to just go in and do their thing, which they did, definitely. You can see everything here getting taken away by Mythic Seal. Rich Guy, the carry, Sandbag, best wingman. The better mechanics definitely goes to Mythic Seal, but those decisions, some of them has to be fixed coming into game number 3 because AI, looking at the way they played against Paladins as well, they are able to download their opponents so quickly. So these patterns and these drafts where Mythic Seal are playing just purely to get high mechanical heroes on each of their players, it'll be shut down, I think, in game 3 onwards.
Yeah, I like now for the series, with it starting 1-1, we got to see some of the best qualities of the two teams. For AI in game number 1, we got to see just how solid they are as a unit. When they're undisturbed, when Oh My Jenny isn't getting pressured, it seems like it's an unstoppable robot army of like, how does everyone know their assignment and is executing at the right time? Well, for Mythic Seals, it's a little bit more of that old school Myanmar playstyle that we loved, and even as a Filipino at one point in our history of MLBB esports, we greatly feared because of they'll take decisions that you'd think like, why are you doing this? But then with sheer mechanics, they'll be able to make it work. Bro, Mythic Seals had the much more difficult lineup. They chose this route. It's like, we want to live life not at its fullest, but at its most difficult, and we'll be able to get a win out of that. So with that already gone onto the table, I wouldn't be surprised if the next drafts, the next games, is just going to be seeing, will Mythic Seal slip up? Will AI get pressured? Because I think they're just going to commit to their clear and obvious playstyles moving forward now.
Again, looking at it, you can really see how messy these team fights were, and it's to the advantage of Mythic Seal. This was the play that I was talking about, a bit too aggressive all the way to the back. They could have just backed away with, I would say, a pretty good win too in a team fight. They could have just played around. They had Nico still to threaten the back line too. Really unnecessary in my opinion, but he made up for it with all the crazy plays with the crossbow Tang. Again, baiting them into the Abyssal Arrows. It's the little things like this that we kind of miss out on, you know, that we get to see again. Zippy was able to constantly outplay in these unplayable situations should be. When a Phoveus flickers on you like that, gets a shoulder bash, I don't know how he actually survived that and how he was able to keep the crossbow tank going to the back. And here again, you can see how Zippy was able to just stay and stand his ground, killing a few of those members, putting Alita in a tough spot too. Then the rest of the team just came in, went and dove him. Here though, I gotta give a credit to Boye for finding this angle. He knows that the Purify was out. Amazing targeting.
Yeah, that was a deep tsunami slam dive. He had to maximize the animation of the flicker plus the tidal strike combination, I believe, and he was still able to find Alita there in the back. And I think looking back at the highlights now, Zippy, I think he's playing it so ballsy because dude is conserving needles and flowers for the absolute moment where he'll really need it. Like, look at it, he's willing to take a buttload of damage and then trust in the items to give him shield at the right time, and then needles and flowers where if he gets crowd control, it's like, bam, one press, I'm free, I can basic attack, jump away again. So that's really good timing by Zippy and a lot of bravery to really conserve your second skill for that specific moment.
Yeah, a lot of bravery, a lot of patience too, and definitely a lot of time playing 1-1. And that's why it was so feared yesterday and a few of the days so far. I think even in the play-ins, it's probably going to be the same thing, right? That's why we're seeing it through in the playoffs too, where the 1-on-1 is just heavily prioritized. It's heavily respected amongst all the teams. Even Paladins had a few 1-on-1 bans that they had to get through as well. But
Yeah.
I believe, Renmar, it is time for you to take a break. It's fine. I'll be calling in Mirko to cast with me, so it's all good, Renmar. For you guys, stay
All right.
tuned because we will be back with game number 3 very, very shortly.
Where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant. We're ready. We're limitless.
Sup, boys? It's me, Mirko. I like that team, so they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, that was the game, Mirko. Like, looking at how Mythic Seal plays, like in my head, the way that they go about life is like they buy milk, wait for it to expire, and then they drink it. Because they like to live on the edge. They want to live dangerously. They want to make life matter. Welcome back, by the way. My name is Lafel. Alongside with me is Mirko, or both of us is Mirko. It really depends on our mood.
Could be both, LaFell, too. Depends on the mood as well. But that's actually very true, LaFell, what you just said. It really seems like that's the way they play. You know, they just have to live life on the edge. It always has to be like pressure, high-stakes situations. If not, it's too boring, man. Like, I don't want these picks. I don't want Farsa, Juicin. Give me the Selena, yo. Or even in the goal lane, right? Granger playing it safe from the back. I want to be up front. I want to be the guy to outplay. If I die, I'll be a thrower. If I win, I'll be the world's best. I like it. I like the mentality.
They just need that dopamine rush. It looks like they all have ADHD. They're just like, I got to do something, right? All the mechanical heroes. That's what I got to get. And when they pick up a hero like High Loss, that game must feel longer than it really is. Like, oh my God, that was such a long game. And then the team is like, bro, that was 7 minutes. Dude, it felt like 3 hours.
Honestly,
that was
whenever
you for yesterday.
Yeah, whenever I don't you mean it felt like 4 hours, LaFell, then? Not 3, but man, you're right. I mean, I understand it. It's the same. Every single time I have to play on a hero that's so slow paced, it just plays discipline, plays in the back, I'm like, oh my God, man, these games going on for ages. And my friends are just like, no, these are like 12-minute games. I'm like, no, you know what? I'm just going to first pick my 1-1. I'm going to get countered by Irithel. The game's going to go on for 30 minutes. But it feels so good. It feels so fun, you know? When you have to battle it out, it feels so much more than just a win. It feels like you stomped. Like as you would say, LaFell, you spat on their face.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of spitting on someone's face, we got to talk about Nico, man. Because Nico is like, you win or lose because of Nico, man. Because Nico's got the mechanics. He's amazing on it. But then the moment where he's just a little bit too confident, like, I feel like the team needs to have a leash on him. It's like, up. Come back.
Stop, Nico, stop.
It's 23 minutes, Nico. If you die, oh my God, that'll be bad, Nico.
That's 70 seconds, Nico. That's 70 seconds, man. Yeah, that's true. It really feels like everybody on Mythic Seal has needs a leash on him, right? Like every single one makes Zippy as well, dude. Like, oh my God, that game could have been very, very bad if that Lord ended up being like a Lord that AI will be able to utilize to get more and ultimately win the game. Zippy would have gotten the Nico treatment that Nico got yesterday.
Yep. Hey, Zippy was the one that flickered forward on that Brody and almost died yesterday.
Yeah.
Right, it happened up top. But either ways, this is their win con, Mirko. Because I feel like the more pressure that they have, the better they perform. And
fair.
I like maybe it's just the Harif ban, right? I kind of feel like the Harif was a big problem in game number 1. Game number 2, when there's no Harif, Ken just electrocutes everyone.
Honestly,
I'm sure that's what they say.
I don't think it's just the Harith, right? It's also the fact that, because the Harith gets banned out. I love the fact that they ban out the Harith, especially if they have no means to pick it up themselves, right?
Yep.
What I'm concerned about is AI actually got a pretty solid draft in that game, but they weren't able to execute the draft. I wonder if they just got thrown a curveball and they were just so confused at how Mythic Seal were playing, or if that's just their normal response with a winning draft. They just always expect to win out the first few turtles, to battle it out, and ultimately get a snowball. Because there were so many moments where PS used the Quad Shadow to try to get a very ambitious steal on the turtle that did not work out. Ended up being taken out twice for both the moments he tried. And he put himself in a tough position. I think if he just let go over the first few turtles in that position and just farmed up, he would have had a better way to attack, to get the win con going and around ganks. You don't need to get kills around turtles all the time. It's possible to get pickoffs around the map through lanes.
Yeah. If I was a coach, I would be upset. But as a viewer, respect. You just gotta show that you're that guy. It's like, I will 1v5 take this Lord. He failed. But then Alita's like, this is how you do it. Shurikens just don't have the firepower. Bullets, man, bullets. Hayabusa, use a gun.
Yeah, that's true.
That would actually be funny if Hayabusa used a gun.
That would be pretty funny. Hayabusa comes up, Quad Shadow teleports to you, and then bang! Instead of the shurikens that take a while, he just one-shots you, right? I guess now that's a term that we can use, LaFell, when a Quad Shadow lands and he just one-shots people. That ain't a shuriken. That's a shot. That's a gunshot. That's a bang.
You could also say shotgun.
Yes.
Dude, here's the thing. Like, ninjas, their origin is that they're farmers. So they actually just take scraps. Yeah, legit.
Wait, dude, Naruto was a farmer?
This. Huh?
Naruto was a farmer?
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so history lesson in olden times, Japan has like a emperor and all, not emperor, but someone in power, and then they have samurais, and then you have ninjas, which is just farmers, just everyday people fighting back. But you can't fight a samurai. They're well fed, they have good at sword, they have armor and everything. So you got to get creative. So you just take your farming tools as weapons, and then you use that. Yeah, you use that. So
that's why they have a hole, right?
Exactly. No, exactly. Yeah. They even use I forgot what it's called, but it's basically just a stick, but you use it like a knife.
So Naruto was just farmer. It should just
everyone's a farmer.
Everyone. Hey, to be fair, everybody's ancestors was once a farmer, right? We all had to farm to get money. We all had to farm to get food back in the day. So we were all farmers once.
Yep. Now people are just farming aura.
Now people are farming aura a bit too much, some aura the aura that people farm, sometimes it's undeserved. Lofel, do you agree? Do you agree with that?
100%, I agree. But
sometimes I'm confused. I don't know whether to take your facts as facts or to research it myself, because you yap a lot, so I don't know if it's true, but I'll believe you.
Okay, let me give you a tip. If you want to waste your time, go fact check, because you're just gonna hear the same thing that I said.
All right. Some scholars suggest ninjas may have included farmers in their ranks. Their origins are more diverse than simply a farmer-based group. So it's more diverse, but yeah, technically there was a bit of farm in there. All right, let's get into the draft, fella. Let's see if the ninja, aka the farmer Hayabusa, shows up again despite taking a loss in game numero dos.
Yeah, this setup for the joke that I was gonna make, it's funny because ninjas started as farmers, just taking scraps as weapons, and now just like, hey, here's a gun, boom.
Ah. Well, that's technically, that could be a scrap as well. It depends, right? Maybe someone threw that gun away and he just finds it. It could be. He could be a gun farmer. Who knows? If growing the guns on trees. No?
Yeah. You do have guns in farms now, right?
Guns in farms?
You do. Yeah, like you want to protect your crops and
your
livestock, right? You do, right? You do.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm not a farmer, but maybe
you should try it out.
Farm. There you go, though. The Joy gets banned out. Proper respect. Something that we already kind of thought about last game. I thought they would still just ban out the Joy after seeing the Harith and the Fredrin banned out, but here we are. Mythic Seal, are they going to ban out the Baksha to take away all the utility jungles and force the 1v1 assassin duel? Fanny's been left open quite a bit, by the way.
Yeah, in game number 1, they ignored it. I'm looking at Ken. He was very upset with that Joy ban, but here's the thing, man. The Lucas, though. We're talking about ninjas, right? How about that Lucas, though?
So are we going to get a Naruto versus Sasuke moment? Baksha going to be banned out. First pick, Kalea, still up for grabs. I think it still is the best choice to go for, knowing that the Harith is
a ninja as well.
Has been banned. But Chip and Loyi were the choices for AI. So it could be a Chip and Loyi pick to respond to Kalea. To respond to the Kalea.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Kalea is very dangerous, but I would not let go of that Lu Yi. Oh, Badang, I love that ban. Completely forgot. Badang is such a game changer ever since yesterday. But now, Mythic Seal, are you going to pick up the Lu Yi or the Kalea? Personally, for me, I'm more worried about the Lu Yi. Yeah, that's it. I have nothing else.
I think Kalea for me. I would just go for the Kalea, the standard first pick. If not, then the Chip, I think, over the Loyi. Just because, well, to be fair, Nico has been pretty good on the Loyi too, so I wouldn't mind if they actually do go for the Loyi, but it's none of it. It's going to be the Wan again. What are we talking about, man? This is Mythic Seal. We want to see more mechanical picks, and they give it to us. There you go. Wan first pick when the Kalea is up for grabs, when the Chip and Loyi is up for grabs. So AI, they could go Loyi Kalea, they could go, I don't think they could go Chip Kalea, but Loyi Kalea sounds pretty good, right? I wonder if they want to just go Irithel now. They banned out the Joy. Might as well just fully counter the Wan, right?
Yeah. Is there a priority jungler here? Because I'm thinking of the Lucas. We haven't seen them using the Hanzo.
Oh.
Yep. So they go for Lucas, man. Get Naruto and then get Chip as well. They could have gotten the family, man. Just take Sakura. But now Mythic Seal, they can still get it, which is insane. They can get Lu Yi and the Kalea.
Yep, they could. Loyi and the Kalea, I think, will be a solid choice to go for. But looking at the Lucas, I'm not too sure if you actually want to teleport. I think you just want to react to it, right? Oh man, Lucas and Chip and Lucas in any teleport with Loyi too, it works, is a pretty scary combination. Right as you see him teleport, he's going to go full Ninetales form, skill 1 anti-CC. TC's your entire team doing AoE, and then shoots out that Teal Beast Bomb. So Mythic Seal, I really don't know what they're gonna go for the Phoveus and the Valent, so they're gonna skip on the possibility of picking up the Loyi and even the what were we saying earlier? Kalea, yeah, Kalea. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I kind of do like it. Like the Phoveus is generally just pretty good. Only that you don't have this mysticism. You know where everyone's going. You know that the Phoveus is going XP, Valentina going mid. I feel like AI should ban the Ling here, but they ban out the Kalea first.
Okay.
I wonder if there's anyone that Mythic Seal has to worry about. Just because there's a Chip, you don't have to worry about them Tilda. But if AI can make it work, woo, robots, man, robots.
I think the Glue is still a pretty solid choice to go for right now for AI, right? They just need frontline, proper frontline. The Gatot Kacha actually is a pretty solid choice to go for too. So Mythic Seal could still ban out the Gatot Kacha. It will be a pretty good XP laner for the Chip, as the Chip will go roam. But technically, this Lucas is still a flex pick. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't really flex that Valentina to go EXP. Unless Nico's like, yo, you want to give me that Phoveus, dude? I wouldn't knock it. I wouldn't knock it. AI now, in terms of the bans, I still feel like you gotta respect that Ling, unless you really do want to flex and actually put Lucas in EXP, and then you yourself pick up the Ling. But no, they ban out the Tigreal. Really? Hold on, let me see here.
Oh.
Ich Nissan 3 bans for Boye.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of emphasis on just shutting down Boye. The glue ban, as expected, the Gatot Kacha, I don't think will come through here. I thought it was either or, right? Gatot or glue, and then the Irithel ban, because the Irithel is still up for grabs, and I don't think AI are going to shy away from it if it is left open here in the second phase. Last game was banned out. First ban in the second phase by Mythic Seal. This time they're taking their time with it, so really thinking about a possible, in my opinion, Gatot Kacha. But yeah, they have to ban the Irithel. Too much pressure in the lane itself. So Irithel taken out, that's the main counters to the 1-1. We might just see AI go for, at this point, what? Granger and Kimmy, right? Should be.
Yeah, the real thing is like, who do you want to show? Do you want to show the Lucas or do you want to show the Kimmy? I kind of feel like hiding the Lucas might be the best idea here. Granger, yeah, for sure. If you want to be zesty with it, maybe even a Bruno just for damage. But no, they actually go for the Moskov. I feel like it's quite brave considering that the Valentina can unleash the beast and the Phoveus can just get on top of you. But hey, Alita's got to be very confident in his mechanics.
Yeah, I agree with you. I guess they're trying to say that, you know, Mythic Seal technically now are very team fight based. They're very like group up centric, and with the Moskov, AI definitely have more ways now to split push on the map. Takes away a lot more of that group up power from Mythic Seal. But in the jungle, we've yet to see what. Oh, by the way, it could also be a safe choice because Mythic Seal might go Ling, yeah. So the Moskov choice was kind of a read into what Mythic Seal could have taken. There you go. The Gatot Kacha that I think they were thinking about banning will be picked up by themselves here, taking it away from AI, which is okay. I wouldn't say the best choice because the Kimmy is present in the AI and they can deal a lot of damage bypassing through Gatot Kacha's main, again, physical damage. What's it called? Soakability? Soakability, is that a word? Is that a term?
Yeah, you know, we
Make
can do
things on
what
the
we
go.
want.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually lost. What are you talking about?
I was talking about the Moscow being a good pick against the Ling.
Yeah. And now the Esmeralda gets picked up in the EXP. 0% win rate so far in MSL Myanmar, but it's still a very solid pick. And honestly, if you're looking at the crowd control, it's not continuous crowd control. So the Esme can suck all that shield.
That's actually pretty good. I really like this pick. You know, against the Gatot Kacha. Again, against the Ling is pretty solid too. I think the 1-1... it really depends on how they utilize the 1-1. If the 1-1 gets first item Sea Halberd, it could be a way to deal with the Esmeralda. But yeah, so far, I'm a fan of AI's draft. Honestly, I like the components, the individual components and how they work together. They're all kind of ready to fight as well. They have a massive CC ability in the Lucas, plus the Esme combo when they go for the shortcuts.
Yeah, honestly, I really want to see the pathing coming in from Ken. Like, does he help his side laners actually get an advantage? Because honestly, looking at the side lanes, it's quite 50-50, but maybe an early rotation could get that advantage. But going up against a Lucas, you know, worried that it might blow up in your own face. I just want to see how he farms up this game.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, coming into it, it's the battle for match point first here as we have a 1-1 in the best of 5 series, an elimination match for AI versus Mythic Seal.
Yep, and now looking at the junglers, looks like a solo rotation here. Quite a lot of trades coming in on mid, and Oh My Jenny, as expected, is actually going to be winning out on that trade. Looking at Nico, in terms of the emblem, is more on damage, honestly, and now Madzi, it survived. He flickers in.
Wow.
Glenn has to flicker out.
Aggressive moves early on. Another battle here. Revitalize going to be used up by Boye. Lethal contest. PS does not have the retribution, and it will be Ken who picks it up. No, actually, it's Boye with a good skill 1 down to the ground.
Yep. And now that's very aggressive coming in from the EXP. Usually we see that as a nothing lane, just doing wet noodle damage. But now, Mythic Seal getting a bit of lead early on, even though it's just like 100. But you gotta be thankful for everything that you got. Early rotation here coming up top for Boy. Don't really think that it can do anything. But interesting enough, Madzi doing very well against Kun.
Slowly but surely here, Madzy trying to build up that lead already, forcing out the flicker early, but Ken will just be hovering up top. Madzy, in this lane, I really thought he would be winning a bit by a bigger margin, but so far it's been rather close up top as well. It could have been a Kun kill had he gotten level 2, but he got it a bit late just because of the shoving power of Madzy on the Esmeralda. Good rotation by AI and by Mythic Seal, both going to mid.
Yeah, in this one, Mythic Seal, I don't know how hard they actually want to go for this turtle because, usually when the turtle is up, Ken as the Ling just want to steal away the buff. I wonder if they can just delay it long enough so that he can actually do that.
They miscalculated a bit. Madzy's not level 4, and now it's going to be the all-in over to Jenny. Luckily, no shoulder bash. Madzy able to get level 4 now in time, has the falling star moon, but PS is taking his time going into the purple buff. Mythic Seal with the Ling are actually the ones that are still on this turtle. Both teams deciding to take it slow and to continue farming.
I think they kind of get it. Like, they know that Ken will find a way to get inside of the jungle. So, hold on. Teleport coming in. It looks like they managed to get one. Kun! First blood. PS gets that kill. And just like that, they're taking control of this turtle.
Yeah, they know when to utilize a shortcut. Now PS walking back up. Ken with the Finch poise jumps in all the way to the back, but the turtle was reset. Temps of Blaze used up at the first kill already. Gives him the CC. Immunity Ken with the Defiant Blades. Gets Black in that team fight. Jenny shooting those shots down. And now it's going to be Nico who stole away the Sacred Beast form one more time. It's going to be the Tail Beast bomb coming down, but PS is able to stay alive with Jenny helping him. A kill over to AI, but Ken will take it for free. No retry used up. Still saving it to steal a few more camps away from AI.
Yeah, don't know if that was worth it or not. Nico even botched the flicker, so no flicker for the next 80-ish seconds. But hey, good on Ken, man. Getting the turtle, getting a kill. Like, this is what I was thinking of, because Ling, a lot of Lings actually try to do something early. Sometimes it's bad, but hey, Ken got a kill, man. At this point, AI got to be a little bit worried.
Just a bit though, because they do scale very well. Oh my Jenny, Esmeralda 2 on Madzy and Alita, all of them are kind of scaling picks, right? And that's why I guess it could be in the hands of Mythic Seal this early game where they could take control, but AI could just be the ones to hold on and weather the storm, waiting for those item power spikes. So far so good though in terms of farm. Even in the bottom lane, wow. I thought Alita would be the one behind up against the 1-1, but Zippy is falling behind in farm.
Yeah. Interesting enough as well, looking at Madzy, looks like he did prioritize the Dreadnought armor. I thought he would go ahead with the Enchanted Talisman just to make sure that he can actually harass the lane, but he's prioritizing defense here, going quite aggressive on Kun. I don't know even if PS joins the fight, can he actually get a kill? Ken now having that Berserker Fury gonna be good. This bot wave, man. Like they're just how do I say this? They're just waiting for someone to make a move.
Mm-hmm. Slowly but surely, just playing it very slow. I wonder how Mythic Seal actually crack the first few turrets here, because they have so much lane prio AI, and they have those teleports ready to go with a shortcut. Ken's gotta be careful. Black's in the bush. No shortcut used. AI playing it really slow, knowing that, yeah, it'll take some time for some of their members to get those items.
The thing that I have to talk about now is that Nico's first item is going to be that glowing wand, and you do need that glowing wand. Right now they're going on to Mazi. Mazi trying to escape, has to use the flicker, able to get out scot-free. But here's the thing, Nico, you're gonna unleash the beast. If you're going full magic items, you're not gonna be able to actually stay in that front line compared to the original Lucas.
That's true. Shortcut already used in as well. Black taking control. Kun jumping into the midst of it all. Jumping on Madzi. Now has it in front of Pursuit again. That's going to be PS with the Sacred Beast form. Jumping in with the CC. Good CC immunity as well as Madzi's able to pick up the kill. But Boye is able to hold him in the back. Now SOD lands. Immobilization. Catches Boye. Will be taken down by Oh My Jenny. But now Black is able to flicker out. Ken joins in the fight as Alita stays up top taking the turret. Nico trying to zone Jenny, will be able to do so. Free turtle, but AI take the fight.
Well, we do say win or lose, we got to look at Nico, man. And even though the score is just 1-1 and 0, but you can already see the impact of just taking that Lucas ult, just unleashing the beast. Now, PS does have that War Axe, so he can actually stay in the fight a little bit longer. The question is, when does he actually go for the fight? Because right now, Black isn't super productive when it comes to engaging into those fights.
Definitely not. And for AI, it really is just about holding on at this point. There's no real risk in losing the first few turtles as long as you're able to go for trades on it, right? And Alita, not only have AI been on the winning front in the trades kill-wise, they've also been getting some solid turrets. Up top, it's taken down. You can see Alita already moving down below with a level lead on Zippy Cutie. Now, on these gold laners, a level lead means that you're at least 500 gold ahead. Up top, you can see a 1v1. PS definitely winning this one. Ken forced to back away. The power of the Lucas, even without the Sacred Beast form, man. Constant Rasengans.
Hey, very balanced. Just to remind everyone, Lucas is just an okay hero.
Just okay.
Now we gotta see. Black does have the portal, but looks like Zippy wants Madzi. Madzi's gonna get taken down, and then the crossbow of Tank connects onto Oh My Jenny, but he's in a bad spot.
Re-engage, SOD landing as well as going to be taken here. Oh, wow, it doesn't. Alita just leaves them all the way for the rest, and now he decides to take a Spear of Misery to pin Boye down in such a very tight angle. He got that Spear of Misery. I don't know if you saw that, LaFell. It's a very interesting interaction. So Ken jumps in, instantly gets CC'd. Will be able to escape. Good traction pulse to zone Nico away with a turret down below in the mid lane. A great SOD take. Now a Lord in their sights. AI are looking to take over.
You know, I'm opening YouTube just to see what really happened, the interaction, but oh my goodness, this is what we talk about Mythic Seal. They buy milk, wait for it to expire, and then drink it. They like to live life on the edge. And that one, unfortunate, but they got punished.
Uh-oh, two-man falling Sarm with a shortcut stolen away. Nico bringing it back. So a lot of members. Madzi forced to flicker out. Kun with a flicker forward gets the kill in front of Pursuit. Now jumping onto Jenny. My lord, a good flicker out, but Ken is looking for the chase now. Right onto Jenny he goes, and it will be a kill back. But Alita is waiting right there. Tempest of Blades. Oh, even the SOD, the landing Alita. SOD into the few basic attacks to recover. Black coming in with a shortcut too. Alita's a monster. Spear of Misery again. Right as Boye tries to get himself out of the way, he finds the wall.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Like, Alita, the fact that you still hit your SOD when Ken was trying to avoid it, and then still, like, just at the edge, continuing to fight. And now we can see that AI is just waiting for that timer, 11 seconds. Now they take down the Lord. Mythic Seal, like you said, they do scale quite well, but we gotta wait for that scaling to come in. And Alita looks like maybe he's done farming. Maybe that's enough, because in the previous fight, after getting the kill onto Ken, he got the Demon Hunter sword. Maybe that's all he wants. Maybe that's all he needs.
That's his code, man. And for you guys, if you want your code, go ahead and check out our official beverage code. MSC 2025, remember, this is the qualifier for that event, and AI are showing promise. They are showing what they haven't shown in the wild so far. Everybody, I think, in Myanmar has kind of looked to AI as a team who always gets close to qualifying, who always looks pretty good, but never does. But this time, they're trying to go all the way, LaFell. Alita in the bottom lane, sieging the turret already with the Lord slow pushing up top. They're trying to take it as slow as they can as Madzi continue to zone Ken under the turret, even forcing a Finch poise. But the traction pulse does not land. AI will get another tier 2 before the Lord even comes in.
Now this is going to be pretty difficult because honestly, Mythic Seal, they don't have the best wave clear here because even their mid laner is just a Valentina. It's like you can clear, but you put yourself in a very dangerous position of getting attacked. They still have the holy defense, so this should be fine. Falling Star Moon, not going to engage onto anyone on Mythic Seal.
Yeah, way too aggressive there. Had he gone in, I think that would just be an easy kill. No Falling Star Moon means that that's a waste of resource. Traction Pulse coming down as well. AOG by Boye. Good Spear of Misery to pin them down, but it's going to be a massive in front of Pursuit in the back line. Zippy! Oh, crossbow attack finding them all. The shot down into the back as well. Big tumble. PS almost finding the play to at least get one, but it ends up being 3 for 0.
But dude, that's set. I mean, like, I was questioning, boy, are you sure the AOG now is not the cleanest? But then the Dark Wave coming in from Kun, 3-man a knockup. It looks like that's all Zippy needs. That's all Ken needs. It's like, that's enough, bro. You've done your job. And then getting those weakness stacks. We can see Zippy flying, getting those kills. But I gotta say, PS almost turned things around. He actually could have legit gotten the Maniac there, but Ken had enough damage to deal with PS. And now a big shutdown goal is given over to Mythic Seal.
This goes to show you the team fight power of the Wanwan, right? One time it cracks open that crossbow attack, and you need to run as fast as you can, especially when Mythic Seal are the ones pushing in, doing damage while you guys are running away. That is a free way for the crossbow attack to translate over to the squishy members from the frontliner. And Zippy has the Inspire back up again. This is the mid game where the Wanwan finds himself in that... Oh, well, conceal. Looking for a
probably
play.
Just opening up the bush.
Whoa. Ken, this is a very aggressive move, Mr. Ken. Okay.
Okay.
He gets up.
They're not gonna go in, but just saying, roamer things. We use the conceal so that people can hear the conceal, so that we can get the bush. If we get a catch, that's amazing. But if not, at least you control the map. But no, Ken looks like he gets pinned down. Able to survive. Oh, Marco, you can relax. You can relax, Marco.
Okay, man. I don't know if I can relax, though, because Mythic Seal with Ken down below. Black shortcut Kun is going to be engaged on. Oh, single piece in the back line. Zippy able to kite away for now. Got the crossbow attack. Will be able to pop it in time. PS going to be taken down now as Alita kites back and finds Kun. It's 1 for 1. Jungle for XP.
I think Zippy can just push here. Yeah, he's going to stay mid. And now Mythic Seal is looking at... Oh, hold on!
SOD Alita! What a play with the SOD to stop a very overextending Wanwan. Boy, you're going to be melted down by Jenny and Alita again, who finds the Spear of Misery. The traction pulse spots Ken out. He's going to have to go with the purple buff as AI go on Lord.
Dude, you can't... Dude, like, Alita, man, like... Zippy just wanted to push. He's just like, oh, I saw a minion. I'm close by. You know, turrets up top here. I might as well go for it. And now it looks like they're engaging onto Nico. Nico double dashes out. And so far in the front line is just Ken. Ken has to be careful. He's knocked down. But still having the Tempest of Blade. Getting out of that situation. Madzi just zoning Ken away. And the Lord goes over to PS.
No way. Another SOD. This guy's crazy, LaFell. What the heck?
Dude. Alita on this Moscow, man. Oh my goodness, Lord.
He doesn't miss. He just does not miss.
Dude, like, you can't caught lacking, man. That's the problem. The moment you feel like you're safe, you're not. Like, Alita, just by existing at this point, makes you always think about your next move. You always think that you have to save some kind of dash just in case if the SOD comes in. And you just have to micromanage. Don't be too close to a wall. Because then Alita here, like full items. Pretty sure it's not two corrosion scythe. One of them is probably something else.
I don't think it's two corrosion, but if it is, that... Hey, you can't blame him, you know. Don't knock
Do
it
what you
until you
want.
try it, LaFell. Exactly. Alita, though, man. So really elite level Moscow here. Not missing a single SOD, I think, throughout this game. Finding those crucial points. And like you said, you gotta be careful when you're around the walls, but sometimes even when you're not around the wall, he finds an angle to get you pinned on the wall. Traction Pulse together with Jenny, just getting the turret shots there. It will be a turret, base turret up top taken down. AI looking to play it slow in the bottom lane as well. There's gonna be another wave coming down, but doesn't seem like they'll be able to utilize it. Mythic Seal doing a good job at holding the Lord while also managing the waves in bot and mid.
Yep. Alita's scary, but they're still respecting what Mythic Seal could do. Nico has the damage, not really the tankiness here, so it's unfortunate, but you kind of have to play like an assassin. Speaking of which, PS did take away that purple buff. Even though Ling can do stuff without the purple buff, but it's very, very scary, man. Like you just make one mistake, and then you're done. Your entire life flashes before your eyes. You remember that time in kindergarten where you took someone else's food, and up until today, that person still don't know who took it, but you know it was you.
But I think in this case, Mythic Seal kind of know who took the purple buff, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
right, yeah, okay. That's true, though. That guy will never know that I took his chips when I was a kid, all right? And
Chips, man. Ugh. As a kid, man, Chips is great.
even as an adult, man, Chips is great. Even the hero itself, pretty damn good with the teleports and all. Hey, if you guys want to go and help us out, MLBB user experience right now, you can pop in that survey. PS, Rose Gold Meteor. Zippy buys them. I thought he already had the Melfic gun. Probably sold it for
Same.
what? An Immortality or Win Nature? Or maybe it was a mistap.
Who knows? But either ways, right now, looking at the lore, both teams are really scrambling for that bottom control. Nico now knows that Madzi is there. And this is scary more for Mythic Seal, not because their inhibitor up top is gone. They can deal with that wave, no problem. It's this Moskov, man. It's this Moskov. He can join the fight, and then, heck, if he gets a Savage, why not? Oh, Ken got caught, though.
Tempest of Blaze used up, okay. But that's a big ultimate, and I think AI are just going to go for it.
I mean, like, why not? Why not at this point? PS is leashing the Lord to the side. Madzi is still zoning away. Black is looking at Zippy Cutie, making sure he doesn't get anywhere close. Madzi almost dies, able to flicker out. But the Lord, it should be going over to AI. Mythic Seal has to make another defense.
Well played, AI getting the Lord and now playing into it. Let's see how they utilize this one. So far, the last two Lords have kind of been a bit wasteful, you know, the Holy Defense #1, that's not their fault, but the second one, the waves were just not in sync properly. So AI have got to sync it up properly now, pushing in the slow, I think pushing it up top before they go with the mid and bottom so that they can get all the base turrets properly.
Something to note as well, AI has to keep this in mind to not line up in a single row, you know, because we saw that Kun with the Dark Wave able to knock up 3. You don't want that to happen again, because at that point, Ken, that was brave. That was brave. That was very brave.
Luckily, he didn't have to use a Tempest of Blaze because that would have been a massive resource. Alita walks forward, almost getting pinned down again. Ken is playing with some thin margins. Great clear in the mid lane because of what Ken did. And it'll just be a base turret in the side lane, keeping the mid lane base turret alive.
Not gonna lie, I noticed it when it was too late, because I was like, wait, what is that? Does AI have six members, 6 characters? Like, no, one of them is Ken.
Yes, he can, LaFell. Without purple buff, too. That's pretty impressive. And now he goes into the purple buff. Let's see if it's going to be contested. Could! Caught on the traction pulse. Dark Wave does land. PS in the front again. Will it be retreat? It won't. Black jumps in with a crash course over to Boye. Full CC lockdown. Boye still gets away. PS taking low. Zippy. Oh, with the crown used up already. PS still will fall to Zippy Cutie.
Oh, dude, like at that point, I'm like, oh no, are they gonna punish? Are they gonna get Zippy Cutie? But Zippy Cutie was the one able to get the kill onto PS. I guess the crossbow tang is much longer than the Winter Crown, but either ways, AI still not in too bad of a position, because PS dies, it's okay, it's whatever. As long as Alita stays in the game, it's all good. You just gotta wait. But the problem is Ken now having that BOD. But Mirko, let me ask you, is there really a safe angle for Ken to come in?
The only safe angle will be when AI have already used most of their resources to jump in. Like when that happens, then I think he can jump on Jenny.
He can.
But even then, it's difficult, dude. Alita is always playing around Jenny, just knowing that he has to peel for Jenny. So it really is tough. Mythic Seal might have to just go through the front line before they can get into the back line. Because if they just focus on the back line, there's going to be so much CC. You got to remember, there's Madzi, there's PS, and Black, all having CC in their kit, all having that a pretty solid amount of damage too.
Yeah, now we're looking at Madzi with the Winter Crown, Kun with the Immortal PS, Winter Crown as well. Mythic Seal, if they want to win this team fight, they got to bait a lot of things out. Because just like you said, if the lane wants to go in, most of the CCs has to be taken away. And now even for Zippy, he kind of has to just hold on to his crossbow of Tang unless he does want to bait it out and then just use it and then just don't overextend. Just kite back and then wait for your timings. AI has the better time in taking a fight because they can fight whenever. Mythic Seal, yeah, you got a checklist. And that sounds boring, but it is what is it, you know? You got a checklist.
That's true. They tried to bait out the Moscow and the chip up top, just trying to get a catch before the fight even starts. But even then, it's kind of risky, right? Even if you dive on Black, there's always going to be a shortcut. So your gank ends up being AI's gank. It's really tough. These forced errors are really starting to build up for Mythic Seal, and you can see the frustration build up for Mythic Seal. They're constantly going to have to send Ling up top without purple buff, so he's going to have to walk slowly there to save the Finch Poise, to save energy so that he can Finch Poise over to the Lord as being held by AI.
So the question is, who's going to throw their body for Mythic Seal? Because someone has to have a good setup. Either Boye or Kun make a miracle happen by getting a good engage so Ken can go in, Zippy Cutie can go in. Looks like they do want this Moscow. But Lita sees this. Should be fine. Should be fine. Even Black is there.
Wait, they're going to go in? Hold up, Black is there too with the shortcut. Alita pops in with nature. It's going to be all into the back line. And the immortality by Alita still alive. Oh my Jenny, caught in the midst of it all. Pops in with the nature as well. Immortality already down. Alita still able to survive for such a long time. Ken gets taken out. The winner crown a bit too late. Jenny still free. And Nico with the flinker forward fighting the splash to get the damage on Jenny. Madzi pops the winner crown too. Black running away, but it's to the wrong direction. Madzi getting the sustain and flickers out to safety. 3 for 1 to Mythic Seal.
Oh, Kun able to find Black, and Black gets taken down. Credit where credit is due, man. Even we're like, wait, is that a good choice? It is. Ken is willing to throw his body just to make sure Alita's taken out. Now 3-man push coming in from Mythic Seal. Madzi looks like he's gonna get taken down as well. Nico even taking the falling star moon. Can they end it here?
They will be able to. There's no way Madzi gets to the wave. Mythic Seal pull off a comeback victory against a mythical Moscow performance. Match point for Mythic Seal.
And now you can see even Ken talking to Nico. I don't speak Burmese, but he was like, one more, man. One more in Burmese to get that possible revenge of going up against YG again. Dude, who made that call? Who made that shot call to be like, yo, let's force against Alita? If the entire team collapse on us, just be better. Just be better.
What a call, what a shot. Placed in a position where they were the ones that, I mean, what were the chances in that game for that? There was no forced error there. It was,
yeah.
I mean, there was no error for the side of AI. It was forced out by Mythic Seal. They really just forced that team fight. They forced that issue upon AI. They were not ready for that. And even when you thought they were, because Black had the shortcut, all 5 members were ready to follow through to the call of whoever made that.
It's insane because every single one of Mythic Seal understood that they can't hold back for disengage, you know?
Yeah.
Gatot, use your ult. Ling, if you have to, use your, like, everyone all in. If you need to take someone's car and throw it to Alita, do it, you know? Like, you can't hold yourself back, and that's good because some players are too smart, Mirko, where they understand, like, don't go all in. I need to keep myself safe. KDA, important. But then they're like, KDA not good as win, so just win.
These bold calls are what makes me, as a Mythic Seal guy, Question whenever they're up ahead, LaFell. Question when they're up ahead and trust them when they're down. Like, when they're down in the early game, I'm like, oh my god. Thank goodness. Mythic Seal can win this. But when they're down, I mean, when they're up, when they're leading in the early game, it's like, wait, Mythic Seal can throw this. It's always like that for Mythic Seal, man.
Apparently, one more in Burmese is not the Pwai. You know, I'm not gonna attempt it.
Okay.
I will call Mo and actually ask him to say it before I say it myself. And
Right, voice note, just so that it's real. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, my experience is that some Philippine viewers ask me to say something, and it's not what they say it is.
Yeah, same here.
So,
it was same.
Especially on official broadcast, we want to be careful for this one. But now,
you gotta be careful.
match point, Mirko. At this point, don't say anything nice.
Okay.
About Mythic Seal.
You
gotta make it fair.
I hate both teams.
You hate both teams.
I hate both teams equally. They're not gonna make it. Okay. Oh wait, did I just curse Yango? Oh.
Hey, the ship has sailed.
Ship has sailed.
Like Einstein said, we can't turn back time.
Okay.
Actually, maybe he did. I have no idea. But the MVP is Ken going in for that kill. That was one play. That one play really changed the game.
Good MVP selection, man. Ken really was able to be, I would say, the stabilizer in this game. When everything went wrong, it's always Ken doing something on the side, doing something around the turtles as well, securing turtles, securing objectives on the side, just playing that split push game, matching the Moscow for the most part. This could have been a very easy win for AI had the Ling not been picked, had the Ling not been played to such a high level too, because the Moscow with the chip, that means it's almost full prio in the side lanes. There's no way that anyone should be able to contest, but Ling, Mr. Ken, was able to do it. Constantly in the side lane, stopping that from happening and giving Mythic Seal still a window to fight back at this point.
And now I'm just pulling up numbers here because I was I'm asking the question, is Chip viable? And at this point, looking at the win rate, you want to know what the current win rate is for Chip.
What's it sitting at? Is that 0% in the playoffs? I think it is 0%.
No.
Right?
It's in playoff. I think there is a win. But overall, the Chip win rate is 30%. 30%.
30%.
I'm reading the numbers right here. Yeah.
Man, Chip has just not been finding wins. Despite, again, a really good setup for the Chip. It's the Chip and the Lucas. But this is why I'm not a fan of showing the Lucas so early on. Knowing that the Valentina can be picked up. The Phobius as well was picked up right after that. Two really good heroes up against the Lucas. Two counters, you can say, against the Lucas.
Yep. Honestly, like, PS definitely didn't look the most comfortable in the matchup because, again, like you said, when he does go in, he does get punished. And Black isn't really the tankiest guy. And this Esmeralda is tanky in when you hit the conditions, right?
Yeah.
Because Esmeralda doesn't have the stats. Just like the Badang, she's tanky because she spams the shields. So the moment that you're not able to get the shield of either not actually hitting your opponents and stealing their shield away, then you're not all that tanky. Despite that, still taking a lot of damage, 182,000 damage. Heck, he's the sandbag. And the carry, interestingly enough, is actually Nico. Alita still the rich guy. GPM 762, and he nearly ended the game for that one. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't find an angle to actually enter the fight.
It was very unfortunate, really, because the damage was all there for AI too. They both hit their item power spikes. It was just a matter of who made the right call. When we're talking about 22-minute games, by the time I think the Evolved Lord starts spawning and both teams are still rather equal, it really comes down to who makes the right decisions, right? Who is able to force their opponents to make the error first. And for Mythic Seal, it almost looked like there was no angle for them to force an error out of AI because of just how many more ways that AI have with the Chip, the Moskov, even the Kimmy there. There's just so many ways to poke your opponents with the extra range, to trap them with a traction pulse, that I thought it was game over. Ken, however, and Mythic Seal never thought it was game over. They never surrendered. They understood how they could win the game with one big play, and they made it. That massive gamble. This is why, as a Mythic Seal fan, always support the team when they're behind, because they're always going to be a shocker with Mythic Seal when they're behind. When they're ahead, pray that they don't throw.
Personally, for me, maybe AI can take a page out of the books of Mythic Seal and try to throw a bit, because that might actually work out. Because I feel like, do you think that Alita was amazing?
Yes. I think Alita was amazing.
Do you think that maybe, just maybe, crazy thought, someone sacrificed themselves, give an opening for Alita to jump in? Because I feel like when you're about to end the game, try to get a good falling star moon on maybe like 2 or 3 people, and then try to get a few kills. It might fail. Honestly, it might fail, right? It's not the smartest thing to do, but at the same time, I feel like Alita was just waiting. He's like, dude, if you guys aren't going to start something, I'm going to do it myself. We see a lot of SODs connecting and then just getting those solo kills. But at one point, like, everyone's just staying inside the base. There's nothing much that he can do. He doesn't have incredible range. So someone please open up something so that I can do something.
That's fair. Could be, right? But I think at that point, they just should have played it a bit safer in the side lane. The fact that Moskov was shown there, I think was the big mistake, because yes, you want to get prio in the side lane, but there was already a slow push building up. They could have started playing around the Lord instead, you know? There was always going to be a slow push having the base turret already taken. The far lane would have been slow push anyway. So I think the big mistake for AI was they played it too by the books. They always had to have the Moskov in the side lane. They never knew when to break that rule, when to break off from the code that was set for them. Had they done that, I think they would have still had the prio. Again, having the Moskov in the bottom lane doesn't mean that you don't have prio up top. You still have the SOD that could land, you still have a shortcut, and you still have so much more prio, because, again, both the side lanes were pushing in constantly towards Mythic Seal.
The one thing that I can argue for AI is, like, there's no way they're going to make that play, right?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's in the back of their mind. It's like,
Probably.
no way.
Fair.
There's no way with Alita performing this insane that they will go for a 5-man gank onto Moskov. But hey, now they know. Now they know that Mythic Seal is loco enough to do those kind of things.
But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading into a break before we get into possibly the final game of this series. Mythic Seal currently up 2-1. So if you're an AI fan, keep on supporting your team. If you're a Mythic Seal fan, don't celebrate too early. We might see an equalizer into a Game 5. It's been LaFell and Mirko. We'll see you right after this break.
there's a limit in the Women's League. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI, where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant. We're ready. We're limitless. They said there's a limit in the women's league. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI, where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant. We're ready. We're limitless. They said there's a limit in the women's league. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI, where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant. We're ready. We're limitless.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, we're at match point. Match point? Match point! Mythic Seal, they can close it off. 3-1, baby. Because here's the thing. If they go all games, oh, bro, they're going to be tired as hell. Because after this, they got a best of 7. Hey, what's up? My name's Safel. Alongside me is Remar. Had a good break, Remar?
Yeah, man, it was good. The last game was very interesting, very fun to watch. And yeah, we are most definitely at match point.
Yep. I know you don't know this, but in my ear, it looks like you keep getting censored out. You know, maybe it's just a sensitivity. But either ways, man, who would have thought? Right now, it's a 2-1 for Mythic Seal. If AI can turn things around, I like if I was Mythic Seal, I would have flashbacks of yesterday. It'd be like, is this really gonna happen again? Are we really gonna go 2 games win and then eventually losing it out? So, dude, imagine 3-2. And then 4-3, Myanmar, man, like that shows how important that one slot is.
Yeah. I mean, Leo and I got to talk with Coach RC back in the M6 World Championship, and we finally got to understand like the Myanmar region as a whole. Like the fans are so fervently supportive in the best way possible. Like some of the conditions sometimes for the tournaments could be quite difficult, but the fans will show up. In Coach RC's words, like even the non-league, non-Moonton tournaments, the third-party tournaments where some of the bigger teams are involved, and sometimes even some of the best amateur teams, quote-unquote, it can feel like you're fighting for $1 million grand finals top 1 prize with how active the fans are. So it's cool to see just how crazy supportive in the best way possible the fans in Myanmar can be and how really fun the games can get.
Oh, no, I believe it because it doesn't come up on my feed as often as before. But before it is, I see Ken streaming, Justin streaming. And then the numbers, man, on YouTube, it's insane. I'm like, yo, you guys got a very huge fan base. And, you know, Myanmar is a very big place. So I really like that the majority really love this game. And honestly, the players do reflect it because especially like teams like Mythic Seal, they have this idea that this is how you play. So don't do that. You gotta get out of the box, you know. You gotta, as a wise man once said, get a box and then destroy it, and then that's what he did.
That Squidward,
one of the philosophers of all time. I think it was Patrick Starr. It was Patrick Starr that said that, and he was saying that with the plank on his head. Yeah,
that's true. Like nailed there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, we are aligned on that, and it's cool. Honestly, like sometimes it could go really well or really bad, but so far, I feel like as a viewer and someone casting it, I'm more on leaning towards the side. Like, yeah, it's going really well. Yeah. There are the moments where literally we're going, why? Why is this happening? But equally, we're going, oh, dude, this is crazy. I wish we saw more of this in our own region because they're taking risks. And when you're looking at it from outside the box, seeing the box getting wrecked in front of you is just so fun.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's definitely an experience. And I kind of feel like this is why there's so many fans. Because they're like, this is just action nonstop. it's like watching the Avengers movie or something when it was good. Now, not so much. But hey, that's them doing their thing. And I'm going to this one. Ken on that link getting the MVP from before. I felt like the draft was okay coming in from AI. But yeah, picking up the Lucas early and then Nico just picking up the Valentina proved just a little bit too much for the draft.
Yeah. Although it was funny that AI was actually playing that game well, mainly because like Alita decided to really step up to the table, seeing that, all right, the Lucas is having a hard time. The Valentina's giving us more problems. All right, let me just go crazy. And then he did on that Moskov. But then Mythic Seals eventually just stuck true to being able to do things that you don't expect them to do. That fight in the top lane, instantly just coming out of nowhere, shocking AI Esports and Mythic Seal saying, you know what? Yeah, no, we will end it now. Like, I've had enough of these games. Let's go ahead to the next one. And it was the right call to make.
I feel like Alita at that spot, he's like pleading with Moonton. It's like, do you see how good I am at the game? You should really give me 7 item slots. Like
just one more.
Just one more item, and I feel like I can wreak havoc. Imagine if there's a hero, a support that can actually give you an extra item slot. Florian, kind of, but the item is already like prefixed.
It's already there. Yeah.
So do something like Florian, but different buffs. That would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. And then Florian only having 5.
Okay, we can make it a little bit crazier. What if hero? It's like in the lore, he's like a builder dude, right?
Yes,
so he'll pop his ultimate, and then suddenly everyone on the team gets an extra item slot.
Ooh.
Enough gold to buy. Let's say maybe what's the most expensive item? 3,000.
BOD, Holy Crystal.
3-1. Okay, let's say 3,200 gold.
Yeah.
So you can instantly have a full build item for a certain duration. It won't be for the entire time.
Yeah.
Crazy though. Right?
What would be the drawback, right? Like extremely long cooldowns, or the timing for that item is like only like 5 seconds, or after the duration is over, you're immobilized or something. Like that sounds crazy. Like legit.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. But if it's like a builder guy, that would be interesting if you can build other things instead of items. Build
repair turrets, or is that too overpowered? Right.
Hey, you don't need to repair it. Just give it shields. Even that one.
Oh yeah.
Even that one is like, whoa. Can we increase the ban rate? Like
yeah. No, to be fair, that's a trade-off. If you can build shields again, that means the opposing team can get gold again from lowering those shields.
That's it. So
that's the trade-off.
Now we're
right?
thinking. Now we're balancing. Sounds good.
I think we need developer contracts, or at least we can consult with us.
Oh, dude,
we have ideas.
I have ideas, not just for the heroes, but for the skin as well. I'm cracking my brain for something for Phobias, and I'm already thinking M7 or MSE when he lays down, when he's smacking the floor, it's just MSE glow up or the M7 glow up.
Oh, that's good. Right, so it's like a recall effect, but it's with every hit of the ultimate. I like that. Yeah.
And then, that's it. I feel like I just want one hero as a support, because right now supports are either heal or shields. But there's no buff or debuff, right? Like other games, you have someone that plays music and then just increases their attack speed or just raw damage or something. Like, I feel like we could have that, or just have this hero where you're just making your opponents not having fun, like having a lot of debuffs, including silence. Oh, remember when Helka was good with the silence? Ooh,
I like. You know what? Hopefully someone out there are taking notes of our ideas. We have so much that we might forget them. So please take note of it. And then go to comment sections and comment them. Like, hey, Lafell and Renmar had these ideas for heroes, so that Moonton hears it and then they apply it, and then we'll all be happy.
By the way, shout outs to Moman coming in. He said Mythic Seal is going to make it a full BO5. So buckle up, boys. And I trust him. The moment we see that a good early game comes in for Mythic Seal, that's where you got to worry. That's when you know who are the true fans.
Okay, waiting for the draft. I wonder if it's just gonna be, dude. The entire series has been Mythic Blue and then AI Red.
Hey, everyone has their own superstitious things. Maybe they really just like that first pick. In terms of priority, for me, it's just Kalia that's really super prior right now. But hey, well, we'll just see what keeps popping off. And I'll Baxia pick. Something to note, in the previous game, the Louis was open, but no one picked up the Louis. Just to remind everyone.
What if that might play a factor for this one? I think AI might actually panic and ban a 1-1 prio.
I actually wouldn't mind.
I mean, yeah, because at this point, I think we've seen enough that it warrants the respect ban. Usually, I'm not a fan of like super early 1-1 bans, but no, they're still willing to play into it. I think they were happy with the fact that the last one was so close that they almost won. There's like, hey, go ahead, play 1-1. I think we can still try to outplay it. But with them banning the Hayabusa, when it could have been first 2 picks against the 1-1, is a little concerning.
Maybe they just, in their head, they're just like, it's just the Lucas, man. Or it's just because we didn't have a Matilda. I feel like you gotta relax on that chip. Like, if you want to pick it up, maybe at the later stages of the draft. Because I feel like looking at the win rate is only about, it's barely 30% in 17 games, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And I feel like at that point, it's really not that convincing.
Okay, so it is a 1-1 rush for Mythic Seals. Let's see if AI will follow your advice and pick up the chip a little later in the draft. If they pick it up early, maybe they're just concerned about going up against a chip plus 1-1. But they take up the Badang. So either this is a counter to the chip or they're pairing it with the chip, which they will. So I like this Badang pick. But with these two on the board, Mythic Seals can actually take a page from the AI book and pick up an Esmeralda later in the draft, or they pick up a glue.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the glue is okay, but knowing them, they might actually prioritize the Phoveus a bit more. Pick up now they pick up a Lucas. They themselves want this Lucas, and yeah, you can fight against the Badang as well as the chip. And now, just to make sure, they even pick up the Valentina Mythic Seal, taking away the possible counters. Good choices here.
I think Mythic Seals might be leaning on the same idea that they had in game number 2, where they overloaded AI with going through multiple angles. They can do it again with this one. With these first 3 heroes alone, especially now that you see an Irithel, there's some Valentinas who are crazy enough to get the ultimate of the Irithel just so that they have that extra mobility to either access the backline or reposition and then be hard to catch, making the most out of the dashes that you get with the Valentina cosplaying as an Irithel. So I'm liking the first 3 picks of Mythic Seals, mainly for the idea of they can actually just overwhelm AI.
But the inner roamer in me, the inner fighter, the inner warrior in me feels like if I pick up this Valentina, I might want to get that Badang juicy fist break and actually punch my way through, because there might be no damage, but a Valentina punching like Luffy will look hella cool.
Actually, yeah, no, that'll be sick.
Get that Gomu no.
Yeah. Wait, Valentina doesn't. Okay, so
no, you do transform into a Badang, but still, like, just in your own imagination, that she's just like I legit, Kakashi could have been Valentina because he's the copy ninja. And then the special thing about the skin is that you don't change into the hero, you just stay as Kakashi, but you're using other skills. Like, I feel like that will look super cool.
But also, I have to be fair, that sounds like an animation nightmare, because you have to come up with a new, completely all-around skeleton for the hero that all animations will work out well for him.
And you know what? I can only wish. Maybe that's why we're not hired as developers.
But we should be considered as consultants. We have ideas. Again, we have ideas.
Because then when they say like, "Oh, that's difficult," and I'm like, "Hey, figure it out."
Yeah,
you can do
it. Wait, they're willing to ban a Faramis even though they have the Valentina. I thought they'd be willing to let that go.
Let me tell you, because this is like the old days back in like in the 1500s. The Farabiz was actually good against the 1-1 because what usually happens is that you have a lot of bodies in front of the 1-1 and then the Ghost Bursters is able to take out the 1-1 before the fight really even starts. So it's really not about that all. It's really just about that Ghost Bursters. Funny enough. Fun fact from 1500s.
Huh. That explains a lot. I like how I've learned a lot of human history from you from this cast so far today. It's been a very
dedicate my life to MLBB history.
It's an honor to be taught by the mentalist.
Anyways, right now, Mythic Seal, they pick up the Kalia. I totally blanked out. I didn't realize the Kalia was still open, and now they pick up the Hilda. This is a lot of front line here. The 1-1 should be pretty free to do whatever she wants. Now, what's the jungler? What's the jungler gonna be? Because it's hard for you to go into fights here. Alpha? Go for it now.
Yeah, I'm thinking Alpha. You go fighter here. I was even thinking that they'd be crazy enough to go Akai, but then you have a Valentina on the other side. That it turns off that idea. Yeah, I think you have to go fighter. If you go assassin, you're playing something super mobile like a Lance or a Ling.
Yeah, Suyo is so out of the meta right now because of the. Although to be fair, the Valentina's still here on the Suyo, but X-Borg. Oh my god, how did I forgot about the X-Borg? That's good too. That is good too.
Yeah. Okay. It's. I mean, the last Insanity I feel like might be used defensively a little bit more, but then it's paired up with a Novaria, Badang chip. Yo, these are some pretty crazy ideas that it might just work enough for AI to force game number 5, but their lineup is harder to pull off. Mythic Seals, what's cool about their lineup is, all right, everyone can spread out, do their own thing, and you're still making the lineup work. While AI, sticking true to their identity, clearly has to play around some very specific conditions. The last Insanity, the Astral Echo, the chip ultimate, even the entry of the Badang, you have to consider that it might be too rigid, that Mythic Seals again can just run away with this by being chaotic.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that X-Borg pick is slightly forced. Yes, it's good because you're going up against tanky people, but at the same time, you're picking a hero just to make sure that you survive. And now, folks, we're jumping in to maybe the final game if Mythic Seal can close it out and take down AI Esports.
Mythic Seals have their eyes set on making it to the grand finals to get revenge against Yangon for bringing them down to this point. LaFell and I were talking about it before we showed up on your computer screens that actually Mythic Seals getting taken down by Yangon was a bit of a surprising result.
Yep.
As usually it's Mythic Seals getting the edge over Yangon.
Yep. So now I'm pretty sure that they have some kind of vendetta. So they want to get this win and then tell them that, hey, yesterday was a fluke. We're just tired. Today we're gonna get that revenge. Now look at Kun, really cutting it very deep inside AI territory, and we don't need to see the emblems because probably same old.
Yeah. At this point, you have to accept that going up against that X-Borg, you're not gonna disrupt his jungle flow. The best you can do is just like get the info and control it, as is the story for majority of fighter tank jungle types. Emblems, yeah, you're right, still pretty the same, although nothing changed. Pull yourself together on the Valentina though. I don't usually see that.
I think this is just Nico being a little bit how do you say this, cautious, because he thinks that maybe he will be the target for black. So just getting that flicker on and on again, it's good. Or he really wants that last Insanity and then just spam it with the flicker every chance that he has. Which, by the way, I still don't know the interaction. If you get the last Insanity and you basically like have full build on the damage, on the heat, do you actually deal true damage after that? Because if that's the case, kind of broken.
Yeah, I know, because right with Valentina, with the amount of magic damage she has, she still scales the damage depending on it. So it's like you're building for that. So I think it's not going to be a crazy amount of damage, but it'll still be a good amount that you're dealing. As we see, Nico did get the ultimate of that X-Borg. The X-Borg already gets spotted out. Is he gonna get bursted down enough just in time? Last Insanity still able to get popped off, and Ken is gonna be the first blood here. Oh my Jenny takes him down, but PS will still be able to get the turtle, but he'll have to pay for it with his own life. 2 members of AI down. Double kill by Jenny though. It's a 2-for-2 turtle for AI. AI wins that.
Hey, are we gonna see a mid lane battle here? Nico and Oh My Jenny is like, yo, everyone is doing cool things, man, but don't forget about us. Oh My Jenny already starting off with a double kill is just gonna ramp up much faster. The moment this after the buff, 2 items on that Novaria honestly is enough to wreak havoc in the game.
Yeah. So for Mythic Seals, let's see when they'll find their comeback. Alita already has the Wind Talker with him, and now, as is usual when going up against a chip, you see the gold laner of the opposing team trying to play it safe, but Black is hunting him down, but Black actually gets spotted out. No, actually, no, that's a provided info for Black, that there's more members of Mythic Seals there, and he is able to flicker out. They burn the flicker out of the chip.
Yeah, now this is not great because the Irithel... Oh, they actually go in for the fight here. They're able to get Boye.
Ooh.
I thought the Irithel would just stay and get the turret, but no, they're just like, all right, it's just a few feet away, but I'm going to jump in.
All right. A lot of trades for this one. Really not letting up. PS already committing the retribution, but Nico uses the last Insanity just so he can get away to safety. AI have positions in the center of the map. Let's see where they'll make their next sequence, as the turtle will be spotting on their other side of the river, which Mythic Seals have already held. They're actually more hell-bent on protecting their side of the jungle so that PS will get better farm.
Looking at items here, no one, like, it's just the gold laners that has completed items. Oh, and the Badang having that Thunderbelt as well. But if we're looking at the turtle fight, I do believe that if Mythic Seal, they can commit heavily, as in like they don't hesitate, they can actually get this turtle.
All right, Black already poking down Kun. Mythic Seals, they're not hesitating. They're trying to bide their time, but maybe this isn't hesitation because it's a natural echo. And Madzi goes in, but he's forced to cancel it out. Ken finds the perfect angle to just go in with a Sacred Beast form, but he gets punished. Madzi with another wall, and the ultimate from the Valentina cosplaying as an X-Borg. Nico finds Oh My Jenny, but Alita finds him back. Madzi with the Irithel means that Mythic Seals will have to take what they can get. They did get the turtle, though, with AI balancing it out in terms of the kills.
Dude, Mythic Seal, they understand. Going up against an X-Borg, you gotta be decisive. And hold on, they want to get this Irithel, but no Tsunami Slam yet for Boye. But yeah, if you like, just wait it out. The X-Borg will just increase your temperature, and then eventually you will get true damage. So, Black is there. He does not have the shortcut though, so he's just here just to protect Alita, making sure that Alita does not get ganked.
Yeah, seems like your theory earlier about this being a mid lane battle is coming true, as Nico has been on point with the last Insanities as an X-Borg cosplay, while Oh My Jenny, just when we think Mythic Seals have already gotten a considerable victory, still able to land a Star Shatter to balance things out in terms of the kills, and even those Astral Echoes are coming in perfectly to provide the information and the utility for AI. So we might just get to the point where it's going to boil down to one big team fight leading to a wipeout for someone, and we'll see who ends up winning from there. Because at this point, when you get a lot of skirmishes and fights that just end up being like equal trades, it almost always leads to that one big team fight that just goes horribly wrong for one team.
And now AI is using the fact that they know Zippy Cutie will go to the mid lane, getting a double wave. It looks like Ken is gonna fight against 2, fight against 3, fight against 5. Can he actually make it out of this one? It looks like he actually got, oh my Jenny, how did that happen? But Alita, make sure that you secure back the kill. Ken, he died, but hey, he got a trade.
He somehow found it, but at the top side, Zippy gets found out, and that's going to be the Tsunami Slam onto PS. Here comes Kun, the damage, and it lands onto PS. Jungler out for AI. Mythic Seals will be able to get this turtle without a problem, without their jungler.
That's insane, man. Like, both junglers are having a hard time getting caught out, but still, I believe Ken got the kill when Oh My Jenny was outside of the map. Now, that's impressive. That's that just shows that Lucas is balanced.
Yep, totally balanced, totally just an all-right hero. Some would say he's even mid, you know?
Yeah, quite mid. Getting a kill when the person is already out of the map.
Yeah,
Average.
with a really strong long-ranged ultimate that comes from your second enhanced form. So mid, bro.
Yeah. Now, speaking of which, Ken is down by. He actually goes on to Black. He wants to kill this Chip. He might do it. And now everyone engages onto Ken. Ken got caught. Mozzie got the kill. And Kun can't do anything. He has to disengage. Ken really has that fighter mentality. I see someone, I'm going to pick him off.
Yeah, even if it's a Chip, even though he knows what a Chip brings to the table, he says, I can. But in that moment, he could not. And AI Esports punish him for it, but Mythic Seals still have river control because of the lead that they've had. And with AI playing around a Chip, actually, Mythic Seals have been playing the map well. They've been quite low-key about it.
Yep.
But all of these shortcuts have actually been a trade for AI. They're losing towers across the board.
Yep. Basically, Mythic Seal is using the fact that AI, they're going to have empty lanes. And now Black, Zipacutie has to be careful. Portal coming in, and everyone jumps onto Zipacutie. Zipacutie gonna get taken down by Oh My Jenny. Yes, has to be careful. No more Firaga armor. Nico's not gonna engage just yet. Kun is gonna be the next to be sacrificed. Nico actually go in, and he got Alina shut down. Given over to Nico, and now Boya gets a kill onto Black. PS has no HP left, and Nico jumps in for the double kill. Ken, he's even here. How did he get here?
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I think it was... Did he go through an enemy Chip portal? It looked like he was just taken out, but at the end of the day, he's back. But NIKO delivers the knockout to AI. You saw it coming from the gank angle as Nico last insanity flicker forward, catching the key members of AI Esports. We talk about it being a mid lane battle, and some of the best KDAs in this game are actually in the hands of the two mid laners. The Valentina and the Novaria together have been really great for these two teams. But the X factor for AI has been Madzi again on this Badang.
Yeah, Nico is just like, I don't need a jungler or a gold laner. I can be mid and still win the game.
I mean, that's what you bring to the table with the Valentina.
Jenny got it.
Ooh, yeah, Jenny still got that litho. Buys a little bit of time, a little bit more resources, but Nico is living up to the Valentina name of what you bring to the table. He's literally everything for the team right now. He's the carry, he's the fighter, he's anything that Mythic Seals need from him.
And now I'm bottom wave. Looks like someone jumps in. Ken tries to fight back. And now Boye has to flicker out. Every skill imaginable from AI has been used. Look at this. Only Madzi still has his ult. So now, Mythic Seal, are you going to force out this Lord? How are you going to deal with this? You got to be careful of Madzi, man.
Yeah, that was a big all-in. But Mythic Seals understand that with the Badang ultimate still up, they're being a little bit more careful here, Madzi. If you pull this off, you mad lad, that is going to be the tournament play of the game. But AI Esports, they cannot get close enough. Madzi finally goes in, but he's not able to get the key set up as Ken finds the Lord. Zippy gets a kill onto Madzi. Mythic Seals respected the Badang.
Okay.
They had really good spacing, and Nico feels it in the air. Recall spam in front of AI.
Okay, Nick, remember what happened yesterday, right? You're hype, you're insane, you're crazy. Someone is saying Nico played jungle in BG. Yes, that's why I say he don't need to be a jungler, he don't need to be a gold laner. He can be mid and still do the job. But bro, Nico, just don't troll. Just don't troll.
Yeah, chill out, bro. I know you got last insanity, but you gotta chill out. They're taking this nice and slow. Nico takes a run of damage. A nice push up top by the Lucas of Ken. Black from out of nowhere. Zippy has to be careful. He's already used Needles and Flowers. Madzi, they pinned down the 1-1. They get the Tsunami Slam PS, but Boye just tried to buy time. Time that he did not have enough of. And that's a double kill for PS. AI immediately with a clapback. Mythic Seals need to be very careful against this chip.
Oh yeah, for sure. Looking at itemization here, even with the Wind of Nature, I really feel like it's not going to help a lot in this matchup because Export true damage, Mazi, sure, physical damage, but true damage coming in from the Thunderbelt and Alita as well. That's like your only concern. To the point where I actually don't mind selling that for something else.
Nico has the angle, good burst, good terrify. Last Insanity finds Alita right away, paired up with Kun, and Ken and Kun together will be able to find Madzi. Oh my Jenny on the run. Nico made up for the recall spam after losing 2. They get 2 back. The instant clapback by Mythic Seals.
Yeah, and now they got a wave up mid. Can actually go for this. Boye finds Black. Do they actually want to go for this kill? They're managing to get it. Immortality popped. And now they're able to get a kill. And now even the mid inhibitor, the Lord, will be spawning in around 50 seconds while Madzi and the leader are coming back. Mythic Seal choosing not to make a mistake. As I say that, Nico. Just respect, bro.
Yeah, Nico, it's all good, man. We get it. You're 6-1-4. This was the storyline, the mid lane battle. You're winning it so far.
Yep.
But you can still get punished. It's only a 3,000 gold lead at this point. AI has enough resources to turn things around. So chill out.
I mean, like, he's just aura farming at this point. Because I've heard the question asked before, which is more important? Being rich, getting the win, or aura? And so far, it has been a landslide of saying aura is more important.
But I have a counter to that. Being rich gets you everything else, though. If you're rich, you have the aura, you have everything else, man.
Hey, you
Money
know what?
gets you everything.
That's the internet, man. The internet has spoken. Aura exceeds all.
All right, I will be broke and homeless maybe one day. Hopefully not, but I will still have my aura. Conceal play by Mythic Seals. Another concealed counter by Black. Forced to flicker out is the chip. He'll have his, I think he does have his Y walk though, to be able to find a gank angle because that beacon closer to the purple buff of Mythic Seals is open for him to take. But he'll be holding around in the shrub. AI Esports, though not letting up here. Nico, dude, he's so aggressive. He's really in the zone. He's really confident. Ken, Ken might get caught out here. Winter Crown, but it might be enough. Ken gets taken out, spotted by AI, and all those recall spams gets countered. Zippy Cutie goes up in the air, but here comes Nico! That X-Board cosplay feels like the real deal. PS will get taken out. Zippy helps supplement with the kills and the damage as well. And Mythic Seals might be going to the grand finals.
PS is still standing strong. Maximum stacks of temperature onto Kun.
Mid.
PS still surviving in mid. Is the 1-1. Is the Valentina. Kun is making sure that this X-Board doesn't come back. Oh my Jenny, can you protect this? Clearing the minions so far. You can't do much now. And now looks like going to the grand finals. It's Mythic Seal.
Mangalaba to Mythic Seals. They are going to the grand finals and will have a shot at revenge against the Galacticos who got there first.
You can see Ken as well as Nico telling the crowd, hey, louder, louder. We just made an awesome play. And now, 3-1. Look at this. Even the camera is just like, okay, we got to get a shot of Zippy here, man. Oh, Battle of Brothers. It's unfortunate, but one brother has to be better.
Yeah, it is what it is. But Nico, the little brother of Mythic Seals, the aura that he has. Short he may be in stature, you cannot deny the massive presence he has in-game and even seeing him on stage. That is the man who was hell-bent as a Valentina, cosplaying as an X-Borg, even looking better than the real deal. What a performance.
Hey, he's showing like, hey, PS, this is how you play an X-Borg.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even need all the skills. just one is good enough for me. But yeah, having 2 dashes and then the X-Borg ult as well, that's a lot. That is a lot. Nico is definitely the win condition and the lose condition for Mythic Seal. They're going to the grand finals, man. Revenge is in their sights.
And based on what we saw, it's looks like we might be seeing an all-timer of a grand finals in Myanmar. Dark horses for the longest time. And in this series, we got to see some of the best, some of the worst, but most definitely the most aesthetically pleasing qualities of the Myanmar playstyle, with how exciting it can get, all the surprises it brings to the table. I'm excited for what we'll see in the best of 7 later today.
Might be too early to talk about this, but the chip win rate just keeps going down and down.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like chip is good when people forgot how to deal with it, but then after like a month, like maybe like 6 weeks or something, now people are like, oh yeah, that's how you deal with it. Because looking at the numbers here, what is this? 23 times picks now and still 30% win rate. Really not looking all that great for chip users now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his stats for the play-ins alone. For the play-ins, he was 50-50. For the playoffs, and I think for the season, it's really not good. So it's interesting that we were talking about this at the very top of the day, the very first series. We're talking about the chip, about how it feels like teams already know how to deal with the chip. He's really strong, yes, but you know what's coming. You know where it's going to come from, especially if you're familiar with the roamer you're going up against, the beacons that the chip wants to go through with the Y walk, that you expect it happening. You know how to counter it. Just make sure you get to conserve a dash or a flicker so that you get away from the immobilize and the initial burst of damage. That it feels a bit of like a curse now for the Myanmar teams, where if you play the chip, be ready that the other team is ready for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gotta say as well, shout outs to Ken. He keeps trying to 1v5 every single time. It's one thing to do it once and be like, all right, chip, forgot, calling back up, being Doctor Strange, getting all the Avengers of all time, ganking on one person. But he's like, but next time I can do it though. So he tries it again. And it's like, okay, guys. Third time's the charm. And just be a bit careful, and other than that, it's all good, Ken.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like you could tell Ken was just so brave, and how much he understands the Lucas that, all right, going up against a chip, I know they're all just going to be clumped up together, which means my chances of getting a lot of life back, buying time, dealing damage is so high that the rest of Mythic Seals were ready that, oh, yo, Ken got chip portaled on, either he's dead, whatever happens, we're gonna be able to punish and chase down the members of AI who decided to go through that portal, and we saw that all throughout this game number 4.
I would say Ken in that game, he's a mythic baiter because he's the one that actually provokes AI esports to go all in onto him, and at that point, it's like, guys, they got nothing. Like he's a good baiter, but I can only go mythic. Like going behind in ranks might not actually be good because he did a very good job on it.
Yeah, very masterful with that. And you can't spell bait without AI. And AI fell for the bait.
That's clever. It's clever.
I got you.
Didn't even think about that. This is insane. The fact that we're not even looking at items now. You know that they're celebrating on stage. The hosts are asking questions. Maybe it's like, hey, how does it feel going up against your brother? And he's like, oh, I forgot.
Can I just say, it feels like now we're outside of a party we weren't invited to.
Exactly. You know what? I'm putting up their stream. I want to see. Are they still there?
We're just here cheering from the outside. It's like, oh, congrats, guys. And they're like, who are those two outside? Like, just keep them there.
Yeah.
Are they actually
I can confirm
right now?
Yeah, Ken is holding the mic. Ken is saying, thank you for everyone coming to the venue. And now he passed it on to Kun, and Kun is like, yeah, what he said, you think it's a joke, but he just said one line and he just passed it on.
Yeah. Well, we did have that theory that the Myanmar language could be like, you say a short phrase, but it could actually mean a long thing. So he could have said something extremely beautiful and lengthy, like a long poem. Just came out like a phrase.
Yeah. Imagine translating it for that, right? Someone saying something so short, and then you just bring out a whole textbook of emotions. Speaking of emotions, they're still on stage, and I want to say they look happy, but not really.
I wouldn't be mad if we could show the stage right now, Because again, it's starting to feel bad. I really feel like I'm outside a party I'm not invited to, but everyone told me about the party, but I just didn't get the invite, and now I'm just like, all right, cool guys, have fun, enjoy.
Yeah. Now I'm just reading chat. People are even saying seal the day, respect Nico, and a lot of Burmese words. I'm guessing manglaba.
Yeah.
And other words that
Yeah,
Mo taught
Mingalaba.
us, but I don't want to take the risk. Because he
Yeah,
did say
yeah.
this might be swear words. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take
Yeah.
the risk.
Yeah, let's not go for that. We did say we 100% know that Mingalaba is their greeting.
Yeah, like welcome or hello.
Yeah, I will stick with that. Any other word that I am taught, I will be skeptical about. But again, dude, Nico was insane. I think
Too good.
if he continues this string of performances, and if Yangon isn't ready for it, he's gonna be the MVP of the grand finals. You can already see shades of it in this game.
But the thing is, Mythic Seal, they're just the team to do that extra bit of work that gives an opportunity for your opponent to do something, right? Like Nico
True.
might overextend, and then Winter accidentally, and then bad things can happen. I'm actually looking at a set of the caster here, or at least the panelists. It looks good, but at the same time, why are they so far apart? I'll take a picture for your reference.
All right. It could just be respectful.
And someone crossed in
distancing.
front of the camera, by the way. Just saying.
Classic. A classic. It's age old. It's not a full production if there isn't at least one dude crossing in front of the camera at the worst possible time. That always happens. It just is. You know.
Shout outs to Leo as well. It seems like he's watching the stream because even he's like, y'all be careful. Mo might be teaching you something that could increase your rate of reproduction chances.
Huh? Okay, yeah.
Roll with it. Just roll with it.
I'll roll with it. But I had to double check that it does actually mean hello or may you be blessed.
Right.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Speaking of which, we have a translation here. Ken said he wouldn't be there without people beside him. Thank you, teammates and coach. And Nico, you're amazing. Yep, that's what he said. He's like, thank you, everyone, especially Nico.
But Nico said that?
No. Ken.
Oh, Ken. Oh, I thought for a moment Nico was thanking himself.
That honestly would be an aura farming move. It's like, I like to thank myself because I can only get this far because I'm this good.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad if he just said, if Nico went up the stage and said, thank you, Nico, I wouldn't have gotten here without you, Nico. Nico, you're amazing. Because, dude, come on. That was one of the all great Valentino performances I've ever seen.
That's how you recall on stage. That's how you emote on stage.
Yeah.
7-1-6, 650 GPM, 76% kill participation. I do want to see the damage numbers because having that that explosion, you should imagine that you get a lot of damage. I just don't know how you scale with magic items because in terms of the text of Xborg is that when you increase the temperature and then when it hits max, it's just straight up true damage. I just don't know if Valentina can trigger it because if she can, then that's good.
Yeah, because I mean, when you asked me it earlier, we already said that the damage will hurt plus more than it will on Xborg because the time you spend charging up will dish out heat, and that means you'll be able to maximize the damage. But it seems because of the natural scaling of the Valentino, where a portion of the total magic damage it has also adds to the damage if it's a damage ultimate that you stole from your opponent. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. At some moments, it felt quite busted that what he was dishing out with the last Insanity as a Valentina.
Reminds me of Valentina taking the Martis ult and then just wreaking havoc. Now looking at the damage numbers here, 65,000, the highest of everyone there. Nico is doing work. Maybe he should have just said, thank you, Nico. If it weren't for your skills, mechanics, and confidence, you wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just as an Xborg cosplay. It was him committing 2 dashes forward just so that he can get the Shadow Strike up, get that Terrify off, and then just wreak havoc. He was he was not scared. Like, he knew that, all right, if I want to make it to the grand finals now, I have to play the best Valentina game of my life. And he did that and more.
Yep, for sure. Gotta take this time to say the rich guy is still gonna be Zippy, Carry, Nico. Sandbag and best wingman is gonna be PS. Unfortunately, this does mean that AI Esports have been dropped being the number 3 team of MSL Myanmar, but it's going to be great in terms of prize pool, in terms of the glory. But you want to be that champion. You want to be the one to go to MSC. And now Mythic Seal, they have that chance again.
Yep. And going into the grand finals, it's so cool to see the MVP being a mid laner, because for majority of I want to say other regions, but regions outside of the usual MPL big three that we're used to, outside of Indo, MYPH, usually you see a lot of the MVPs always go to either gold laners or junglers. The fact that we're going into the grand final, seeing a mid laner, a Valentina, show up and say, I can carry as well as the traditional carries, that's just great to see. And it goes to show just how great the playstyle is in Myanmar. And
gifted,
with
man.
and with our chat saying that Nico used to be a jungler for Burmese Ghouls, it's sort of like poetic that it was him to bring Mythic Seals to the grand finals with an MVP performance.
For sure. We have to see how much time will they have to prepare for the next one, because there's an argument for both. Shorter break means that you're still fired up. Your body is still hot enough to go into that match. But there's an argument to be said that maybe you need a break. Maybe like have some water. Maybe have a snack.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've met different people and everyone has different takes.
Yeah. Like, I agree with you there, because like in tournaments, especially when the lower bracket finals and the grand finals are fought in the same day, we've literally heard the lower bracket finals teams go, oh, I wish they just start the game now. Like, I don't need to go on a break. I just want to go. But I mean, they're going to get that break. And how they take that time, because I'm sure on the other side of it, Yangon just saw this entire series and goes, okay, now we know how you guys play.
Yeah, I feel like the dangerous thing is that I think yesterday it's mostly Ken, but now they're like, okay, Nico, we gotta pay attention to Nico as well. And I kind of feel like even Zippy is starting to look much better as the series goes on. So this does seem like a different Mythic Seal that we saw yesterday.
Let's see if it'll continue up until the grand finals. It will be as clean, because we've also seen it before. That's one of the trade-offs of going through the lower bracket finals and going onto the grand finals the same day, is sometimes you're way too hyped. That the discipline that you had to reach the grand finals instantly slip. Hopefully we don't see that in Mythic Seals, because again,
does Mythic Seal need discipline? Question.
To be fair, some of their best moments in this game came from them showing that we don't. Again, as you mentioned, they break the box.
Breaking the box, man. And then comes to the question: what is that box made of? Is it paper? Is it wood? Is it metal? No, it's rules. A box made out of rules, and then you just screw the rules. I got money, or they will if they become champions.
Yeah, break the rules, man. It's like that's the Mythic Seal key to victory. If we were doing keys to victory here, we just have one for Mythic Seals later. Break the rules, commit all the mistakes, all the cardinal sins of MLBB, because it works out well for you, because you still get a win somehow.
Yep. We're looking at the highlights here, and this is unfortunate, but there's really nothing much that Oh My Jenny can do against a Valentina and a Wanwa. He tried, man. He tried, but that was just unfortunate. But either ways, congratulations for AI Esports for making it this far. But now the show is going to be all about Mythic Seals revenge going up against YG. YG as well has to show up and actually say that yesterday was not a fluke. We're just a better team now.
It's the two teams who closed out the regular season of the first ever Myanmar Super League, both at the top of the standings. Yangon Galacticos standing at 1, Mythic Seal standing at 2. And though Yangon looked like they had the well, with them getting the top 2 slots, they were very comfortable in the play-ins round, upper bracket finals. They saw each other, they were tested. It's tough to call this grand finals with everything laid out, the history between these two. It's sad that they don't get 2 slots, that we won't at least see one of them in the wild card, that we'll only be able to see either Yanghon or Mythic Seals make it to MSC at EWC.
Shout outs to chat because they translate for us.
Cool.
They also said, Nico said, please support us in final. That's it. He didn't say anything else. And then Zippy said, we will try ourselves not to make same mistakes like in M6 qualifier. So they're not even talking about the mistakes they did yesterday. They're talking about the mistakes that they did in M6 qualifier. Maybe it just haunts them till today.
Yeah. Okay. So revisiting the M6 World Championship Myanmar qualifier. That was a 7-game series against Falcon Esports that led. Yeah, it went max. I think that's why that they can't get it out of their minds, because they were literally 1 game away from winning.
Hey, if it happens again, whew, that's some bad luck. But for now, we're going for a break. After this, it will be the grand finals of Mythic Seals going up against AI Esports. We'll see you guys then.
Hey.
Hello. 30 minutes. Okay. Oh, hey, hello. Ooh. Can I go away? That's so dangerous. Oh my god.
They said there's a limit in the women's league. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI, where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant.